Okay.
Hi, I don't know what happened.
Hi, hello. That was really weird.
Yeah, no idea what happened there.
Not a clue. Not a single damn
My
clue.
OBS was still streaming, and yet suddenly both YouTube and Twitch were like, no, you're not. And it's
Okay,
like, what?
well, if it's YouTube too, you're gonna have to send out the new
Yeah, it's
video.
going again.
Cool. Oh, also, I am streaming tonight as well.
Yes, I have to do that
We
as
can
well.
have double screen mode, but one thing at a time. Let's not overwhelm Ori. Hello, Flair. Look at my little pet burb, you guys. So cute.
The dichotomy has no sound, but yeah, very, very weird. Don't know why that happened.
I've never seen Twitch crash like that before.
Not in this
that
specific
was very
way.
specific.
It was very odd. Suddenly and whatever. Okay. I don't. Why do I not have double thing anymore?
Suddenly and unpredictably.
Indeed.
Well, welcome to Scuff. For the 4 people that are here.
Hello.
Heyo, Roval.
With a little bit of stuff.
Hello, Dichotomy.
Let's see if I can add Mars in here by doing shenanigans.
If it kills the stream again, like, don't do
no,
it.
It wasn't.
But
it had nothing to do with that. It was like an internet it was like a connection problem. Like, I don't know why.
That's so weird, but Discord was fine.
Yeah, it like wasn't internet. It was like the programs and OBS or something. I don't know what it was.
They just all crapped at the same time.
Yeah. Application. I want. Where is it? Why am I writing? Not display capture. I want the other one. Okay, my brain is dying and I literally can't read the thing. Windows capture. It's all the way at the bottom.
Poor Ori. F in chat for Ori's brain, you guys.
Is it just really small? What the hell? Brain things are not braining right now.
Brain things are hard though. You gotta give yourself some slack. It is hard to brain.
I actually got to drive past you, Mars, today.
No way.
Yeah, the direction of my work today was in that direction, and thus I got to have breakfast with my parents, brunch. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Okay, very weird. No, not this one. No, stop. This one. Okay. So look, guys, you get to see both mine and Mars's a little bit.
Yes.
Mars is in the corner. Is it
I'm like
pretty
hanging
and
out
gorgeous?
down here.
No, but that's how we're doing it today because for some reason my I think it was an old
screen
overlay.
Does not want to work.
No, I think what happened was I like cleaned up a bunch of my like old overlays because like my scene list was really long, and since the dual screen was only in an old version, I think I cleaned it up and deleted it.
Okay.
I think that's what happened.
That makes sense.
It's okay. Now all the art's on the same screen and it's fine.
That's more than fine.
How's
yes,
your week
how is
so
everyone on this wonderful Tuesday? If any of you guys are celebrating Easter, I hope you all get off this Friday. You know, that 4-day, 3-day weekend.
In the US of A?
Well, my school is.
What?
My school is off this Friday. It's a 3-day weekend.
I have never once gotten any days off for Easter in my entire life.
Really? Not for Passover?
No. Because Passover's not the same time as Easter this year at all.
It's like slightly off. It's really weird. This year is so weird, you guys.
Passover's the end of April.
Well, I know there's definitely the spring break then.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone's talking about the 4-day week, so I'm just left to assume.
I'm just saying, I've never gotten it off. You have the entire week off for Easter, man.
Excuse-moi?
Where you guys are now?
Wow.
Patient Puff, do you have the whole week off for Thanksgiving? Because that one my college did give. We didn't get a couple of those like single days off. You know, like
yeah, no, we got single days.
But we got the entire week of Thanksgiving off, which is always nice because that's like a week that you can go home, you know. You don't know.
That was the weekend Ori came to visit me.
Are you in a different school than you were last year? You don't remember? You don't remember what has happened in the past? Only the present.
I mean, come on, valid. Oops, that's not the color I want.
If I never remembered anything in the past, life would be sad.
This was the wrong color. Whoopsies.
Oh, Mars.
Oh, Aster.
Fucking it up again.
Oh, Aster, it has been so long since I colored you. There we go, all fixed.
Oh, I forgot the thing that happened. Okay, we're fixed again.
So guys, just to update you on the thing Mars just watched and is now obsessed with, link click is really fucking good.
I'm definitely gonna wait until you finish season 2. I mean, I'm trying to get through Fairy Tail, so you know, you got some time.
I will say, link click definitely has the tragic gaze. That's not even a question. The thing that really scared me at the end of the first season, you know, there's a question of if one of the mains is alive or not.
Oh god.
And then I went into season 2, and you know, at first it's looking bad news bears, and it's not good. And then you have the stuff that should only happen in fanfiction and never in canon, but then everything's okay, but then it all goes south again. So
No, Roval.
I'm on a roller coaster.
No, Roval. I watched all of Fairy Tail that had come out up to Fairy Tail 0. Fairy Tail 0 was coming out when I finished watching all of Fairy Tail before that. I had no desire to watch Fairy Tail 0 because it's like a past thing, and at that point there was nothing like relating to it beforehand. So this is like 2016 sometime. Then in 2018 they came out with the final Fairy Tail season, which I never ended up watching because just, you know, I was in college, I was trying to get through Naruto and
Naruto.
Yeah, Naruto.
That Naruto, you guys know.
And I just never ended up watching it. And you know, I had just kind of accepted that like Fairy Tail would end. I'll get to that in a second, Mason. But
Mason, the way Ori explains the merits of Fairy Tail, you're in for a treat.
Yeah, hold on.
Cracks me up every time.
And so I just kind of accepted that like Fairy Tail would be what I remembered, you know, from it was literally my first anime ever. Natsu is my baby boy. I love him. He's great. He's fantastic. And but yeah, I just kind of accepted it. Like I would remember it how I remembered, you know, like kind of nostalgia-y. I would just accept it and never do it again. Now Mars like texts me the other day and she's like, new Fairy Tail Dream something? I don't remember. Another season of Fairy Tail coming out.
So someone I follow was like, oh my god, new Fairy Tail coming out, and I saw a trailer and I was like, oh my god, I think I remember like 3-4 years ago people were making a big deal about the end of Fairy Tail. So to see it come back, I was like, wait, hold the phone, what? And I had to share with Ori because I know she loves Fairy Tail.
Yeah, so she shared it with me and I was like, okay, well, guess, you know, when I have a lot more time now and to watch shows, to specifically watch shows, not more time in general. Just forced time to watch shows, basically, over other things. And I was like, all right, I like Fairy Tail. Let me try to get through season 9 is what it's called, the season that came out in 2018, and see how I feel about it. Now, one, they feel very largely about it. Okay, I'm gonna dumb it down really easy. It is not good, and what I mean by that is that
What a glowing
as
endorsement.
a writing, as if you enjoy actual good written stories, I will say Fairy Tail is not for you. Okay, if you like in-depth analysis, if you like real good foreshadowing and stuff, I gotta tell you, it's very heavy-handed. There's a lot of exposition.
If you're unfortunately me.
It's definitely not a very high-level show, I guess, in the way.
Deep,
it is a show of vibes, very classic shonen. I would say it
is a vibe show.
It's even more heavy-handed than Naruto, Shippuden is. Naruto Shippuden has a lot more nuance and stuff. I don't find Fairy Tail has that at all. And it is very much power of friendship, Natsu always wins. It's not deep. So my recommendation is that unless you're really, really just into the vibe of it can be kind of annoying, God, is it fucking fan? There's a lot of fan service. It is definitely, hands down, critic-wise, not a good show. Okay, I don't, that, that's just how it is. But I love it. Why do I love it? Because there is just some brain-scratching fantasticness, in my opinion, about Natsu's fucking theme music kicking in, and he just going fucking off the wall and being like, my guild is my family, and everyone's my family, and everyone's it's there's definitely a lot of fan service, Mason. So if you can't handle that, don't watch it. Okay.
Mason, it's funny you mention it. I think Fire Force is my vibe show. Because, the fan service was so bad, especially in those first episodes. And then they surprisingly dialed it back after episode 8, which was very appreciated.
Ask him what it means. I bet he'll tell you. But,
discover the secret.
But so unless... But it is 465 episodes of literal soul vibe and no story. There's arcs, but they don't do anything, if that makes any sense. Okay, they don't do a lot, and that's just how it is. So I'm gonna tell you who said watch it over spring break.
Mason, I think.
Mason, I'm gonna tell you not worth it. Pick something else. Okay, it's one of those things where it's at this point in time, there is too much content to make it worth trying to even do the vibes. There are significantly better shows still with really good vibes that are more worth your time. Okay? And this is not me ragging on Fairy Tail it's horrible, nobody should ever watch it. If you watch it, you're terrible.
I feel it's one of those shows, if you know what you're getting into, then maybe, but you gotta be ready for that time commitment.
It is hello, Nox. It is
hey, Nox.
Textbook shonen levels. It's not as bad as Dragon Ball Z, where the fights take 80 billion episodes. It's not that bad. They get a lot of shit done. But yeah, it's basically
they got a lot of shit done in episode
magic,
1.
And there's people who can use magic,
of
and they're called wizards. And these wizards have guilds, which is how you get jobs to make money being a wizard. And you go out and you do adventures and stuff. And the beginning is
honestly
very episodic.
A little bit of a D&D vibe now that I think about it.
Kinda. And the beginning, it's very episodic. They do mission. It's funny. It's goofy. It's whatever. As you get into the arcs, as full arcs, they're basically just battling, stronger and stronger villains and crazier, or other guild members that are kind of being sussy, or maybe turning evil. There's a lot of stuff going on. But the main core of it all is that the guild is your family. Fairy Tail specifically as a guild, that's their guild name, that's why it's called Fairy Tail, is the reason I don't suggest that, Mason, is because just like Naruto's dubs, Fairy Tale's dub is horrific. So that, I'm sorry to dash your dreams about watching Fairy Tale, but unless you know Japanese, so watch it in the background. I could not stand the dub at all.
Oof.
It was I couldn't do it. I hated every second of it.
Sadly,
And
that was back in the early days of dub.
yeah,
Oh.
because it's that old, right?
I don't know if we had Sayu back then. I don't know
I
if we
don't
had
think
Zeno
so.
Robinson, Amelie, you know.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, we did have Johnny Young Bosch. We definitely had him.
But he's been.
I don't know if he was involved in Fairy Tale.
But I will also say, like, specifically older, older anime in general just didn't have the effort put into it, right?
Well, they didn't realize it was big bucks. They can make money off of sweebs.
Yeah, exactly. It was still in its, like, infancy, rearing up into the public eye.
Exactly.
Mainstream. He was actually looking for actual fairy tales. Oh my god, that's really funny, Mason. See, and that's the other thing. I got the manga. It's more just like a shelf decoration for me. I can't read it. It's really weird. Like, it's I don't know. The whole thing, it's very odd. It is one of those things that's like, I managed to watch it in that early phase of being an anime fan where time somehow is just non-existent, and you somehow manage to watch an incredible amount of content in seemingly less time than it should take you to watch that amount of content.
That's like 700 episodes in a week. Like, how?
Yeah, I think it's only 4 something. But yeah, it is a lot of episodes. Fairy Tale number of episodes. There's a hair on my keyboard.
Oh.
Okay, at
You
current
got
it
hair.
has 3... 28, is that right? And it's 265 is the first one. So yeah, it's not, it's not Naruto Shippuden. It's definitely not One Piece. But like, once you're getting into
nothing
the
will be One
200,
Piece.
300 episode shit, like, I'm gonna tell you, it's not. There's so many other things to watch, right? And this is not me saying I would love to talk about Natsu, 6 Ways to Sunday. I love him. He's my boy. It's great. But
The OG Fire Baby.
it's definitely, like, somehow very a kid's show with way too adult stuff going on in it sometimes. Like, the fan service in this season has been very centered around feet, and it's very odd, but I'm literally, like, just driving through because, again, Natsu fucking just eats and it's great. Yeah, PCM, I know what I fucking said. So all I'm trying to tell you is that being a Fairy Tale fan is not something that I'm like, ew, you like Fairy Tale? That's dumb. That's not what I'm trying to say here. I fucking love Fairy Tale. I'm trying to tell you it ain't worth your time in this day and age when there are significantly better anime to watch in dub, in sub, whether you want it episodic, whether you want it, like, just, no matter what, I gotta tell you, the bar on Fairy Tale is very low. I don't know how to say it any different. If you have more questions...
Again, what a glowing
Mason,
endorsement.
Mason, if this is something you really, really, really want to do, like, go ahead. Maybe you'll love it. Maybe it's great. But I just know that, like, the level that we watch... Again, if it was 12 episodes, if it was 24 episodes, if it was 50 episodes, I'd say, no, I would not make Mars watch it. She couldn't do it. She could not fucking manage it. I would never ask Mars to watch
It would be so
really bad.
lengthy.
It's
And also,
not worth her time.
guys, I can do vibe shows, but I gotta be honest, I like meat on my plot. I like it when I can think about things a bit deeper. I like when I'm like, oh, why is a character behaving like this? Why is he doing that? What's a theory going on? Like, I'm sorry, I can't turn my
no
brain
depth.
off.
There's no real depth. The plot
I
gets resolved
genuinely,
very fast.
I gotta
very
check my
executed.
anime list. Because Fire Force, I know, is definitely a vibe show for me. Like, as soon as they introduced Shinra and his brother, I was like, okay, now shit's getting good. This is fine. But what have I watched that's like purely vibe?
I don't know what made it 12, but I'm just saying, like, you know, Fairy Tail
Okay,
season 9
maybe
is 50
Apothecary
episodes.
Diaries is just a vibe show for me.
If it was 50 episodes total, I'd say, yeah, if you really want to just have a vibe, check it out, see it. That's not too much time of your life wasted, right? Like, you know, that's not too much time of your life where it could take to be like, wow, I actually didn't really enjoy this in the end. And so all I'm trying to say is that
I
it's
guess
not one
Gegege
of
no
those shows
Kitaro was a
where it's
vibe
like,
show.
oh, you get past season 1 where it's like really episodic and stuff, and then it gets like in depth. Like, it never gets in depth, okay? We're in the most in-depth thing of the entire series. That one has taken fucking 328 episodes, guys, okay? Like, for this one thing. And he only comes in like near the end of the first 265.
Oof.
But Mason, but that is without sleeping, to my understanding. Is that not? But yeah, but
you also have to factor in eating somehow.
Eating, you know, I had school. Honestly, I will say I didn't sleep to watch Fairy Tail. But basically, it was in high school, in like 10th grade. So basically, all I did would be like school, eat, and Fairy Tail at that point in my life. And that was the only
School,
way
eat,
that I could
Fairy
have gotten
Tail,
through
rinse,
it.
repeat.
That was like the only way I could have gotten through it. I don't know how I managed to get through nearly all of Naruto in college. I definitely skipped like all the filler stuff, and I technically never finished it. But
wait, how could I forget the most vibiest of vibe shows, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures?
yeah, I feel like it's up there with that. In a very
As the
different
vibiest
vein,
of vibe shows.
but it's in a very different vein of vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, most definitely. I'm not gonna argue that.
And I would.
I'm just trying to see if I have any other vibe shows on my list.
There's less fan service in JoJo's than there is in Fairy Tail.
To be honest, I don't recall that much fan
That's
service.
what I'm saying.
Like,
I don't know
none.
a percentage, Mason. I don't know a percentage. I do know I followed like some Reddit thing that was like, these are all the episodes you can skip. Because again, Naruto has like even more episodes than Fairy Tail. It's in between Fairy Tail and One Piece.
This is why I'm a little bit happy they're remaking One Piece. Like, yes, give people who want to try the story an actual entrance point.
There are a total, between the original series and Naruto Shippuden, there are 720 episodes. And I watched,
Jesus.
you know, not including the filler, so I don't know how many episodes of that are filler, but I watched about like 648 of them.
And how many of those episodes are just Sasuke being a little bitch?
Too many. And those are not the filler ones.
Ah, man.
But I am happy that I watched it. I'm not particularly sad that I never finished it, because if I'm being honest, nobody really talks about the rest of the part that I didn't watch of the fight. Literally, ever the memes that I ever see talk about get to the part
left
of the fight.
off on a fight?
Oh yeah, we were in the big fight. I was in college bars. I only had so much time. I think there was like a summer
I
break and I
understand
didn't
that.
watch it, and I just never came back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, One Piece is up in the thousands, I thought now.
One Piece is just... You have to start that show, like, when you're an anime baby, and then just stick with it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's like a thank you for the cookies rule. But that's
Thank
like
you
a
for
show where
baking.
it's like, if your parents introduce it to you at the moment that you are like of age to watch that show.
Oh yeah,
and
that
you
becomes
love it
like
enough,
your Pokemon / Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, and you love
got
it
this.
enough to like watch it as much as possible, maybe you could catch up. But literally besides that, yeah. And this is I think the thing that One Piece fans are afraid to admit, like Naruto, like Fairy Tail. It definitely has more substance to it than Fairy Tail. I do know that. But when you talk about your show in the sense of it has filler minutes, I feel like
That is
You're a
discouraging.
bit delusional. You know what I'm saying?
That was one of the things I had actually. So I had asked a
To catch up
coworker
on One
if it was
Piece?
worth getting
Damn.
into One Piece. And I asked him,
Oh
like,
my
oh,
god,
is there a
Mason.
list of like filler episodes
That would be
online so I can
impressive.
skip around? I did that with Gintama and that helped a lot. And he was
Yeah.
like, well, they're not filler episodes, they're filler minutes. And I'm like, what the hell are filler minutes? And he's like, well, they're literally minutes in the episode that don't matter, but then the rest of the episode is super important.
And
I'm
it's like,
like,
yeah, no
yeah, fuck
thanks.
that. I don't have time for that.
This is not a thing that I
Nope.
could do.
Nope.
But so,
But
yeah.
I am trying to watch some more anime now. I'm trying to do a thing where I like treat myself at the end of the day, like good job for getting through this day. Good job for doing well on a test. So my treat this weekend was starting Link Click, and has anyone in chat watched it? Please, someone, anyone, I'm dying. I finished season
Mars.
1.
Feel how I feel with Dungeon Mesh.
I'm dying. My boys, my time travel boys.
I'll get there.
My time travel gays. They're so cute. And also, Sheng must be protected no matter what. His heart is too soft for this world. No one hurt my boy.
Oh, okay. I'm impressed that it would only take that long, Pastry Puff. But damn. Most consecutive days without dying. Nice. But
pretty impressive.
Yeah, so it's like I'm not trying to discourage somebody from watching Fairy Tail if that is something you want to do. But I do want you guys to know that it is not
it's more so
substantive that one.
Substantial?
No, substantive.
Something?
Substantive. There's a word.
Gesundheit.
Substantive. Yeah, substantive.
Substantive.
Okay. Jesus.
I feel like I'm from the Princess Bride. You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
See, it means what I think it means. I just can't pronounce it. But yeah, so that's it. Right, that is my sole thing, is that there are certainly significantly better shows to watch than Fairy Tail that you can actually get through and finish and have, like, good endings and shit.
Amazing. If you're looking for something good that isn't too bad, 156 episodes if I remember correctly. If you haven't seen Hunter x Hunter, that one is pretty damn good. What version was it? 2011 version, not the 1998 version. Pretty good. I also heard it has a good dub as well, so if you want to listen to that while you're making art, that's totally an option.
Also really good dub option, but much shorter amount of episodes. It's only 2 seasons. Moriarty the Patriot.
Oh, also
Top
very
tier.
good. Yes.
Top tier.
That's fun.
We're
if you like mysteries.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, you like Ace Attorney, so you like mysteries.
Yeah, I
really
assume
good.
so.
Really
But mysteries,
also,
gothic setting, so good.
I think you'll like Bond, Mason. I think you'll
Bond
like
is
them
fun.
a lot. Really
They
top
don't
tier.
come until season 2,
but it's
so you
worth
will
it.
have
The
to
whole thing
go
is
through
worth
season
it.
1, but season 1 is very well worth the ride.
The whole thing is worth it. Ending is great.
It's
Top
so
tier.
good.
What
The
else?
ending was fantastic.
What
They
else have
somehow
we
stayed
watched?
true to the books while also doing their own thing. Like it was great.
We're loving Freerun. Also.
Freerun. I love that we're doing the dub right now because that means we get to have Freerun longer than the sub watchers. So everyone online is like, Freerun's over. I'm so sad. I'm like, hey, I have 4 to 3 episodes left.
Yeah. Of course, I recommend Dungeon Mesh Invasion. I don't know if you've been watching it. Top tier show. Dub is fantastic. Lots of high lister names on it.
Oh, they have
Honestly,
an
Leos's voice
incredible
actor,
cast.
fantastic. Chilchik's voice actor, fantastic. Marcel's voice actor's been great. We love Senchi. It's Pro ZD. It's amazing.
Ouch.
Good shit.
You don't like elves.
What? Lame.
But Freerin and Marcel, they're the sweetest elves.
What else are things that we watched there? Ooh, really fun, mostly like kind of vibe, but definitely still's got other stuff going on. Dr. Ramune.
Oh yeah, Dr. Ramune's fun.
That one's really good.
Just be warned about episode 2. Episode 2 did chase off a lot of people, but it's so worth it, you guys.
It's worth it, and his and the ending of that episode is really good.
Oh, it's so satisfying.
What's racist? Oh, elves. Not liking elves. Yeah, it is racist. Yeah.
Kana gives you Ruby Rose vibe. Kana from
free run.
Why am I blanking?
Kana is the
Oh.
Which one is she?
She's the short hair, red hair.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah.
With the water powers.
Yes.
She's the one in love with the ice mage.
I can see what you're saying, Roval. But yeah, we love the dub. It's great. Yeah, short red hair, not an elf.
Short red hair. Pretty sure she's a human.
Also,
she's also a pretty good mage.
Also, pretty sure she's at least bi. Definitely a lesbian, though. There you go, Mason. That's another reason to watch it. Very good. They're really cute together.
I need to dust my room.
I watched a lot of Ruby, and I got caught up at one point.
Also watched a lot. I think I left off on season 6.
I don't know what seasons were. I got to the point where the headmaster got reincarnated into a child, and then they were still fighting the same people, and I just kind of moved on. I was just kind of, we're done. I don't know. I just kind of fell off. Now, you know what's a fun show? Camp. But it's not a show for everyone. That's like a show if you like South Park and like, you know, like classic adult sitcom animation type of things, right? Like, it's funny, though.
And it's also got some wholesome stuff in there. Hold on a second.
Oh, yeah. Of Ruby Roval? Yeah, the early seasons were good. I think it's one of those things that kind of went on too long. You know, kind of gave like cash cow kind of vibes.
Well, I think they also lost the original creator.
They did. And so they were making it in like his honor, I think.
Yeah.
Because they had like the models and stuff. But I don't know. It's one of those things I will find, and it's very sad to say
I give them props for doing it, but it's also like the magic is lost if you don't have the original visionary. I'm sorry.
No matter how good you like are, no matter how like well you knew the person, no matter how much you worked on it, you know, with them, there's something about it that no matter what, if unfortunately a creator passes away, it's just never this, like, you can't do it. I stopped watching. I read all the Wizard of Oz books by the original author, and then there's even more after that. And it was the one where it was like co-written because he passed away, like, you know, while writing it. And it was just like, I can't do it. It's already, like, the vibe is already wrong, like, on moment one. And it's just like, I don't want to taint that, I guess. You know, I liked them. I don't want to remove how I liked them because of the vibe. So I'm still stand for Red versus Blue. I never really watched Red versus Blue. I watched the first episode, because that episode's iconic with the, like, why are we here? No, why are we here? Yeah, that one. That one's good.
I do recognize it for the memes.
I'll try my best.
When those go around, those are pretty familiar. But I never fully watched Red versus Blue. I did watch Genlock. That was a pretty fun one. I doubt they're ever getting their next season, though, which is very sad.
I did find that all Rooster Teeth animation is available on the site We Watch Our Anime, though, so it can't be lost in all this stuff. So that is good.
Which is reassuring.
Yeah. It's so funny. So, I think it was 2 weeks ago now? You were sick 2 weeks ago? Yeah.
Yeah, roughly. 3
that-
weeks ago now, I think.
Oh, that, Dichotomy and I were talking about, like, plagiarism and stuff. Not plagiarism. Copyright. Piracy. That's the word. It was a P word. It was a P word in there. Piracy.
We got there eventually. It's okay.
Piracy and stuff, and how, like, Dichotomy used to read a lot of manga, but it used to be, you know, like, on Manga Searcher or whatever, you know, or it was like, oh... And sort of had, like,
Classic.
change of heart and stuff. And it was just really funny. We had the whole conversation, and then one of the YouTube, like, video essay artist people that I like to watch came out with a whole thing about, like, piracy, you know, how it is in this day and age, and the history of pirating shows and stuff, and, like,
what
you
are
know,
the
with
odds
everything's going on. I was like, damn, this is so funny.
Good freaking timing.
Indeed.
That's hysterical. I don't know. In terms of my manga, recently I definitely aim to buy it as much as I can, or like get it from the library, because I have not found any good manga apps out there, and for me, like, a botched translation can ruin the effect.
Is it still on my phone? I used to have one that I read Dungeon Meshi on originally when I started reading it.
I had that one too because you recommended it to me. Like,
It's
I started
gone
reading
now?
Dungeon Meshi back in college.
Yeah, that's what I was reading.
That was like ages ago.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's available anymore.
Yeah, I think that's what Dichotomy was saying too. The site that we use, Mazen, to watch shows is also, you know, doubloons and scallywags and all that. And if anybody would like that site, because I highly recommend it, you can DM me on Discord, but I won't say it, because I want them to exist forever. Never die.
Yeah, please don't take that from us. They're the only reason I haven't had to get Netflix yet.
Not even Netflix, just anything. The amount of shows on there, like, that we couldn't watch, you know. Like, I don't even know where you would have found Tsuratama without a Scallywag site. Or, you know,
yeah. Well, like, it wasn't even on our usual site. It was on another one.
Well, the dub was on our usual site. The sub was on the other one. But that's very rare.
The dub was good.
Thoughts on ArtStation? Has there been news about ArtStation that I'm unaware of, Robo? I will say, a lot of my art-related news comes from YouTube video essay art people, so it usually is kind of delayed. So if there's news about it, otherwise, like, I have not just general thoughts. I think that it seems to be a good place to get, like, actual industry jobs on, right? Like, they have a whole job forum, so if you did want to work, mostly in a lot more games and stuff, they do have, like, a really good job board thing that is actually, like, really nice. And,
are they graphic or concept designers?
Yeah, concept designers. A lot of it is 3D, you know, but, like, also visual effects and, like, you know, all the classic sort of, like, mostly surrounding video game art related jobs. But it is a really good place to look for that if that's something you're looking for. I don't, like, scroll through ArtStation. I've used ArtStation as, like, a place to sort of host your portfolio, because, like, it's a site that when you are, like, applying for jobs, it does, like, mouths, guys, look at them mouths.
Yes.
Juicy.
I need my references.
That's one of my favorite pieces. I just really like how they look. But, my brain is dying as I'm trying to do 8 things at once.
Oh no.
What was I saying? Yeah, using it for, like, your,
Yeah, that's right.
your portfolio has been good. I mean, yeah, I literally just logged in my ArtStation, and there's a bunch of ones, like, remote animator, 3D artist, you know, user experience artist, junior and senior level designing, you know, Video game stuff, texture artists. There's a bunch of different stuff that you could do. And yeah. And but yeah, so I have hosted my things there, but I never like scroll through it or anything. I've literally followed one singular person on ArtStation because I found their art some other way, and the way they draw, they had like this collection of trees that they drew that I really enjoy.
Okay, there is like a truck outside that keeps beeping and it's driving me crazy. I need it to stop.
I'm sorry that it's driving you crazy.
It's just distracting me. Because it sounds like a fire alarm every time it goes off.
But it's like, you know, this kind of style I really liked. But also like this, you know, the trees, the environments. I was looking at a lot of stuff for like how to draw environments, and I just really liked the way where it was like detailed without being detailed, right? Like that's the vibe I really want.
Which I think you've tried to emulate.
That is what I tried. This, not this exact set, but like this is definitely an inspiration there, where it's trying to be like, you get the idea of an environment, but it's not like nutso rendered like some of the things you see, because I can't do that. I can't. Like the time.
Who has the time?
God, I already am not a particularly
not Ori.
I'm not someone that particularly enjoys drawing environments. I kind of force myself to do it for the comic because, you know, I do want to be good at it, but ooh, like look at all these books. Like I just really like their design stuff. So they're the only person I've ever followed on ArtStation, and it's solely because they only have an ArtStation and nothing else. If they had something else, I would follow them on there. Ooh, I followed this really cool Instagram artist just recently because they do like creature mashups in a really, really cool way. Let me find him and show him, because that's what I want to do. They're very big inspiration for outcast creatures, ideally. And that's what I want to show, if I can find it. Sort by latest. Okay. Which one is it? It was recent. Is it you?
That moment you find a really good Instagram artist.
There's so many good Instagram artists. I'm sad that my brain can't hold them all in the same level as, like, you know, every single Instagram artist that I love, because just I only have so much brain space. But let's bring this over here again. I'm gonna hide Mars's thing for a second.
It'll be a secret. When you come back, guys, it'll be a fully finished barracks.
Really, really cool creature designs. This is a polar bear and butterfly and cobra together. A triple whammy.
Damn, that's so cool.
Like, this one is a peacock, an octopus, and a coyote. Like, just really cool, mosh creature designs. It seems like that's their newer
These are
art,
creations Leos would be proud of.
But, like, this is the kind of vibe that I want to make the Animals of Outcast be. You know, if you've already seen the Animals of Outcast. But
the
so this is
Limerana.
definitely the vibe that I'm looking for. So it is good inspiration to be like, what animals can go together. All right. Is it finished, Mars? It's not finished. How dare you?
It's not finished.
You lied.
I thought you'd be on there for longer.
What are we talking about Helldivers for? Dylan's the Helldivers guy. No, I just don't know what we're talking about. I see you talking about Helldivers, but not about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like funny.
Like talking around Helldivers. There we go.
I keep seeing the word Helldivers, and then both of you being like, "I was asking you, but I was asking you," and then it's like, I don't even know. Dylan actually...
It's like that routine. Who's on first?
Yeah, really. He was obsessed with Helldivers for a while, but then Monster Hunter and the DLC, like, came out for cheap because of the Steam sale.
Ooh.
And,
hard to argue with that.
he's been obsessed with that. And I think it's more because you can't really play Helldivers alone. So, you know, you can play Monster Hunter World alone. So it is like... But you can also play it with friends. So it's more like versatile that way.
Absolutely.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm curious, what experience does chat prefer? The single player life or the multiplayer life?
I think you can guess my preference.
Oh, I know your preference.
Well, I think even chat can guess my preference.
Even in games that aren't single player, they somehow turn multiplayer.
Or makes it multiplayer. Oh no, VZN.
Uh-oh.
Mostly single player games, single player life.
Single player life, single player life.
Service. Well, I guess if you don't have, good internet. But I love...
And a big fan of mods. That's a pretty good reason.
I love specifically couch co-op games. Like, by far the most. That is my favorite type of game.
Overcooked is a big one.
And Overcooked 2,
Played up.
I'm so sad. I was looking at Overcooked all plates or whatever, like the whole one, because it was supposed to have even more levels, but all of the reviews were like, there wasn't even really any new levels, it's all just the same exact levels over again. And I was like, I already played all the levels twice. So
yeah.
I'm good.
This is not the color of his shirt. Why do I have this color?
I played Overcooked 1 with one group of people, and then those people, like some of them graduated, so I had a new group of people where we played Overcooked 1 all again, and then we played Overcooked 2, but then once you beat Overcooked 2, you get the unlocked the 4th star, so then we had to play every level again to get the 4th star. I have 100%.
And Ori ran that kitchen with an iron fist.
I have 100% at Overcooked 1 twice, and I've fully, like totally 100% at Overcooked 2. And the DLCs. All of it. 100%. And it's epic. And honestly, that's a game I would love to play with Doug and Mars and Dylan on stream one day. But that's like a one day maybe thing.
I think we owe them a round of Baldur's Gate first.
Yeah, we do have to do that too. The last one kind of... I'm not I'm not an idiot sandwich. I'm the one that's kind of holding it all together. I'm the manager, which is my favorite role by far. But I'm the manager when it comes to Overcooked.
Oh,
I mean, if you watched our played up stream,
she is.
You can see how I feel. And then
I was just trying to cook the meat.
Well, Mars. So I actually had my lovely editor Grenade did a best of, specifically just of that one plate up stream.
Ooh,
and I just have to add a
fancy.
little stuff to it, but I hope for that to come out next month. So it's only about 15 minutes, I think less than 15 minutes. So anybody who doesn't feel like watching the whole stream and just wants to watch a highly edited, this one's very, very edited.
The best of's real.
The best of's real, but even more edited than like our normal best subs of the videos, right? Like of the Ace Attorney videos. Like it's high level editing, guys. Like I splurged, and Grenade did a great job. So very, very fun. So look forward to that next month.
Thank you to Grenade.
But very funny. Yeah, I basically got to add the captions, and I had to enter the censor noise. That's done. I just mainly have to do the captions and add this little extra thing on there.
Man,
and then that'll be
that's very close to being done.
Yeah.
Awesome sauce.
What is happening? Okay. It was just being weird.
That's always the biggest question.
Okay,
does anyone really know what's happening?
2 more panels? Ori's got to do 2 more panels tonight, guys. She's got to move.
Right.
She's got to move.
Mars has to try to do 3 more panels after this one. Honestly, it's going pretty well.
We're doing okay. Oh,
I mean, my plan is to honestly keep doing panels until stream ends, so...
oh, yeah. I might do something else comic related. We'll see.
Did everyone see the new reel that came out?
Yeah, everyone see my lovely, amazing animation?
So friggin' funny.
And you should please go
Like-
watch it to give me the views. Thank you.
That audio was too perfect. It fit them so well.
Wait, you're either gonna be hyped or have your heart turn out, or both when the next chapter comes out. The next chapter of Outcast? Is that what we're talking about? Or did I lose? Wait, PCM's talking about something else. Your time will be
Might have
Thursday.
lost the thread.
I'm so confused. No worries, PCM. I'm just trying to follow the thread because there was like 4 different conversations and then answering a question.
They may be talking about Neffy right now.
I'm assuming that they are talking about Neffy. Limbus Company. Limbus Company? Lethal
Gesundheit?
Company? You mean Lethal Company? Okay, I'm thinking that's Lethal Company. No, it's not Neffy. What is going to tear your heart out next chapter? I've lost where...
I'm really scared now.
Brianna... I don't even know. No, you spelled it right. It's Limbus Company. Is that the thing chapter you're talking about?
I've never heard of that one.
No worries, museum. Okay, I got there. Yeah, I had never heard of it. That's why I was like, is it a typo? But I was like, I didn't think Lethal Company had, like, chapters. So
I think
just like,
Lethal Company will eventually have chapters. Right now,
Will
as
it?
far as I know, they're in beta.
I'm still slowly making my way through Markiplier's playthrough of the Help Wanted 2. Because I haven't watched any MatPat like videos yet because I'm like, I need to finish the Markiplier playthrough, and then I can finish the Five Nights at Freddy's one, and then I could watch Mark's playthrough of Poppy Playtime, like the 3rd chapter or whatever it is, because I haven't gotten there yet. And then it's
Man,
okay, Mars, when do I have
you
time?
have a lot to watch. Holy shit!
Yeah, such is life.
Such is life indeed.
I also have a ton of books that I'm like gearing up and ready to have to read.
Yeah, when are
on
we
my
going to read our
vacation.
pirate book? When's our book club?
I am literally going to like my plan is what I did last year, which is when I go to my grandmother's in June.
Okay.
Is I bring my Switch and my books. And that is the Ori does the things that she doesn't do at home time. That's when she watches the most Markiplier and MatPat, because I have fucking like 24 hours a day to do whatever, you know, and I can't work on the comic.
That sounds so nice.
It is the most vacation ever, and I can't give it up. Like, I'm sad to give it up. I had to
sounds
give up
like
one
the
of the
greatest
2
vacation
yearly
to ever
trips.
vacation.
Oh, it's fantastic because literally it's a true vacation, guys. Like we're not doing, you know, when you go on vacation, but it's full of doing stuff, right? It's not
like
that.
you're
And
running
that's
from
not to
place to
say-
place, you're trying to see things.
Yeah,
Like,
like
don't get me wrong,
jam-packed,
that's fun too,
but it's not
but like
relaxed.
truly relaxing.
Yeah, going to my grandmother's house is, we go into town, so it's for a week, right? One day, we go into town, we go shopping, but it's not the whole day. It's like a little bitty portion of the day.
Maybe
We
a
have
couple
tea,
hours at
we
most.
play games, okay? And then the rest of that day is for me to draw on my sketchbook, read books, play Spiritfarer, etc.
Oh yeah, you still need to beat that.
Yeah, this is the time, Mars. I literally don't play it outside of this
really is the time.
section. Well, because it's a 12-hour drive.
You have been
One
playing
way.
this game for 3 years.
Okay, but not actually playing it. I've been playing it 1 week out of the year for 3 years, Mars. Please. Please.
I know, and it took me a whole summer to beat that game.
I'm actually pretty close. I have
Oh,
the teacher.
okay.
I think I have everybody. I'm just doing all the quests.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I think there's also a DLC you'll have to
Oh,
complete.
damn. Hello, Winnie. Hello, Enthuse.
Hiya, Winnie
Oh.
and Enthuse.
Oh, what I was going to say, bringing it back to the comic, is I don't know if everybody else saw my
Yes,
little
full
color
circle.
post in chat this morning, but we talked about how callers fly and stuff, and I kind of fleshed it out a little more.
The physics of it all.
Yeah. The leaning one? No, it was talking about how the flying works, because Jamie mentioned, and I knew this was the case, that it's really kind of impossible for humans with their functionality to fly, especially with like any feasible size of wings. And that did always bother me a little bit, but I kind of just accepted that I might have to hand wave that in order to have bird callers that have any sort of bird functionality. But today it hit me, and I can do this still because it hasn't mattered yet, so it doesn't matter. Secrets of making it a webcomic.
Woohoo!
And it's that they sort of act like double jumps. And so, each flighted bird caller, this only applies to flighted bird callers, they all have the ability to glide, and depending on what bird they are, how well they are, how good they are at gliding. And then they also all have the ability to sort of double jump, and again, depending on what kind of bird they are, will also depend on how many double jumps they have and how big their double jumps are, and etc. So Aster is an albatross, so he would have a mid amount of double jumps, so I'm thinking like 3 to 5, somewhere in there, of fairly sizable, boosts, but he's really good at gliding. His descent is very slow, so he can go over a very large distance from one of those, jumps, basically. And then, versus if you had like a caller that was based on, say, like a hummingbird, right? Hummingbirds, they need a lot of energy to keep in the air, guys. You see how those wings go? It's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
They would be not so great at gliding. Definitely like enough to negate fall damage, basically, but not enough to really travel far distances. And they would have maybe a ton of double jumps because they flap their wings very fast, but they would be kind of tiny. So that's kind of the general vibe. So it makes it where like they have quote unquote flight, but more to the extent of how like I think he's the same size, Dichotomy, so I think it's just you. I don't know if you have ears or not yet, so if you respond in the next minute, I'll say you have ears. But if you don't, I'll type it in chat. But yes.
Oh.
You turned on ears.
Look at this beautiful Ferrex.
Well, I'm glad that it worked out, Dichotomy. I'm sad you don't have permanent ears yet, though. Oh, look at the boy.
One day.
Oh, you're on my food eating one.
I am, yes.
Wait, does he have the really good food ones?
He's got the cracker.
Oh, yeah,
here he is. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's meat.
That's the dungeon meshy nom.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all this I have left.
Yeah,
honestly, it's not so bad. I have this one all the way at the top that I've been avoiding.
This is not the one that I've told you about. It's the next one.
I know.
This is the one that's like, we're okay. The next one is rough. Hello, Safe Gaming. Hello.
Safe Gaming. Hello. Welcome.
Welcome.
We are just kind of vibing tonight, answering questions about the comic, sharing some anime manga experiences, and just overall chit-chatting.
Usually we have like not usually. Sometimes we have like a specific writing or art topic that we do kind of discuss at the beginning.
Guys,
but
Mars had a midterm yesterday, so she's very tired.
No, how dare you?
I don't think I could talk a topic if I tried.
See, what am I paying Mars for, guys? I don't even know.
Okay, this is the problem. I started link click on the weekend I had to study.
This is all. See,
this was very poor planning on my part.
And
I just want. Well, no, this is what happened. I started watching it on Saturday, and I did maybe 3 episodes before I was like, okay, I'll come back to this. Or no. Here's how it went. I did 3 episodes on Friday, and then Saturday I made it up to episode 9. So Sunday morning I was like, okay, today's the day I'm gonna finish it. And then my folks wanted to go out for the day. Now I'm not complaining at all. It was a very fun day, and I got a Dungeon Meshi book, which was really nice.
Yeah.
But I wasn't able to watch. And then by the time I got home, I was like, okay, I really need to study now, or this is going to be a problem. And then I also had to make materials, and I had to do a whole bunch of things. So, yeah.
So safe gaming. Mars and I technically do both make comics in the sense of we make the same comic together.
Yes.
Because
Ori is
Yep.
the artist, as per the name, Origami Art.
Yes.
And I am the writer for the comic.
Yes. However, it is both
Quoted in my
our
name.
story, as we do both
Yes.
brain it, and Mars actually does all the flat colors for the comic.
Yes,
so-
which you could see me doing in the corner of our screen here,
But we are
because
a
our
little
setup was really fighting us tonight.
comic duo. Yeah, you can
Yes.
check it out on Webtoon, Tapas Global Comics. Webtoon's the most updated. I will say I kind of dropped the ball. this week.
Yes.
But to answer Enthuse's caller question, are there any callers of domesticated species like dog breeds, chicken breeds, etc.? The answer is no, and the specific reason no is because I didn't want any implications coming from that specifically.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. You can get a lot of variety from undomesticated species of these things. So like same would go for like cows and sheep. However, you can have to a certain level of extinct animals exist. Like I would say like, you know, passenger pigeons are fine to have, you know, collars of, you know, you can go back like a fair amount. I wouldn't be against having like a woolly mammoth collar or like megafauna collars because they are related
I think
generally.
the biggest thing
No
is that
dinosaurs,
with
though.
with the domesticated breeds, like it implies that it's in the name. Someone had to be there to domesticate them in the first place. Oh, we just
don't
kind
really
of
live in that
avoided the
kind of
implications
world.
of that.
So I just didn't want to have
It
to.
it was mainly like, okay, no one around domesticate, like they're at their wild base form,
They're
if that
already,
makes sense.
you know, colors are already sort of, as you guys can see in the comic, looked down upon
Yes.
or discriminated against or, you know, anything like that in society. I didn't want to add like another layer of possibly like that. Yes, there are enthuse. I'm so glad you asked because they're really pretty. What are they called though? My brain is going to die.
Is it like the black and white chicken?
No, it's like it's not feral jungle fowl. That's what they're called.
Jungle
Jungle
fowl.
fowl, and they're gallus. That is their grouping of things. That's where chickens come from. A lot of. They're just really cool. They're really pretty. They're very colorful. There's a bunch of different ones. You know, they have the dimorphism and everything like that. So there is a bunch of different pretty colors that you can choose from. Ooh, you want to know why I know this? This is really funny, guys.
There's
So,
Gabby's story to this.
Yeah, why does Ori know about jungle fowl, guys, right?
Why
I would
indeed?
have to see where they're native to, Enthuse, but that could be a choice. But we can show some really old Ori art here, guys.
Ooh. Guys, you get to look into Ori's secret stash.
So, back in the year 2018, 2019, somewhere around there.
It feels like it shouldn't be long ago, but it
yeah,
actually
it's
is.
too long for my thing.
I hate that.
Well, there you go, Enthuse. There you go. Then yes, there is a high chance of a jungle fowl existing in port. This is not what I wanted. And I DM'd my first ever Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and we had this little like. I had caught wind of this sort of module and setting thing for 5e homebrew. It was called Humblewood, and they introduced a lot of races, and a lot of them were based on like animals. And at the time, they were only the ones that had birds that were out and available for playtesting. And so I made a whole like side campaign thing. Let me find a whole side campaign thing where they essentially got transported to the world of Humblewood, and all of their races changed to one of these bird races. And I drew little art pieces. Okay, here they all are. I drew art pieces for all of them, and you know, you had different sub races. You had different races, and one of them was Gallus, which was the jungle fowl. And so I took the characters and I made them into jungle fowl. Take a second. Hello, Jim. How are you? I used to kind of
Jim.
This art is very old. But this is one jungle fowl. This is the other jungle fowl. And you can see the birth of Ori's feathers beginning to start, but we weren't there yet. Yes, he has candy on his wings. I'm not gonna get into it. But I also did owls as well.
We see the beginnings of the Ori style emerging.
So,
excuse me
fun.
while I go
but
let my
you know
cat
what you
into
can
the room.
see? You can see the start of the hand wings. Yeah.
Oh, this is where it all began.
Indeed. So, there you go. Fun jungle fowl stuff. And that's how Ori knows about jungle fowl.
My cat just came to say hello, everybody.
Yep, I used to kite at the party. It was fun. And you know,
How
it's
did
like
the party feel about it?
Oh, they thought it was hilarious because they didn't know, right? So then I broke out. I prepped really hard because obviously I had more time because it was college. And
of course.
I like broke out these little books, like these. I made these little booklets that had like their new abilities because like their races gave them different abilities, and it also had the art of their character in it. So they had no idea. So I'm like, oh, you climb up the beanstalk and then you break through the clouds and dishes out books. Now you look different. What's the easiest animal to draw? You say it's a dog? I don't think it's a dog.
What would you say is the easiest animal to draw then?
I would say it's probably like a mouse or a hamster.
I could see that.
I feel like
plump body,
the
round
the
ears.
rounder the
Seems
animal
pretty
is,
straightforward.
It's very easy to be like I can draw
because dog muzzles are
like a rabbit
sometimes.
Same with cats, you know, but it's like I can make like a little loaf that's kind of just like flat on the bottom, kind of pointed at the middle. Look, and then ear 1, ear 2, little nose. It's a bunny. Easy. Yeah,
so cute.
A mouse is just a little bloop like this. Oh, give it a little cottontail. You get a little this, little ears, mouse. You know, I feel like those are very easy to do. Versus like a dog, you really gotta. I mean, maybe I'm just a furry, so.
I mean, we did see you struggle with the muzzle, so.
See, the fox problem
Umfalo.
was his neck. Yeah, Umfalo, he was tough. I was given issues there. Oh, that's it. Noop is 2 circles and 7 dots. What's the second circle? The halo? This is Noop. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It has to be the halo.
5,
Nothing
6,
else makes
7.
sense.
There you go. There's Noop. I did it. That is something I do want to do. I want to like break down the characters into their simplest forms as possible to duel them.
That
better.
would be a fun thing to do during hiatus.
That's a goal I want to try and do because doing doodle like those like I want to do more reels and stuff like I did, but like, you know, when they're a full character, it's tough.
Absolutely.
What can I do with a pen? I don't like to draw with pen. It's scary. I'm not confident enough.
Are you kidding me?
The way that I do sketches, they look absolute like shit at first. and then they get into goodness. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I try to, like, I take I always mean to take pictures of early sketches, and then I forget to like show them to Mars or something at the end of like how they get to. But it's like wild. Ooh, safe. What made
Oh,
us both get into
what made us
comics?
get into comics? I
Reading
gotta be
them.
honest, read a lot of webtoon,
Yeah.
especially throughout college, so I was always kind of like, ooh, wouldn't it be cool to do this? Now, my personal dream, I've always liked writing. Like I was making stories in middle school. Middle school was more the poetry phase. Then in high school, I switched gears to like actual creative writing. Um, that was like mostly for a class, and then by high school, because I found anime, then I started diving a little bit more into fan fiction, and I really enjoyed doing that. Um, and eventually along the way, I'm like, wow, if I could make like an original story and have that published, that would be so cool. And then one day in the grand old year of 2020, Ori reached out to me asking if I wanted to do a comic together.
Yeah. So
And
I
it was
don't
honestly the most
know.
random thing ever. Like there was no lead up to it at all.
No, no, no. So I don't know how I found out about Webtoon, and I will have to say that it most likely was Tumblr, because that's the only
It had to
explanation that
be.
I have. It had to be Tumblr, um, and that's how I found out about it. And I downloaded it, and I started reading comics. And it was college, so I was like getting into comics, and I was reading a lot of comics. And I have never enjoyed writing ever at all. The style of writing that I kind of enjoy sometimes is very specific. It's like rants, and that's really it. Um, but I had since like 10th grade at that point, like started really trying to get into art, and I was like really keeping it, up with it throughout college, and I was like getting back and like I was getting into digital art, and I was doing all this stuff, and I was like actually, drawing fairly consistently, and I just kind of kept having the idea of like it would be really cool to like make a comic, but I don't like writing and I don't know how to write. And so I was like, I had made like a couple test funny things about like things that had happened that I thought were funny, and it was fun. But it was definitely like I wanted to write like a whole comic story, and I actually did. I started out with drawing like some comics based off of that D&D campaign that I actually just mentioned. I took the campaign and I like drew comics of the character because I had designed him first, and then the main antagonist was designed first, and then the D&D campaign kind of formed around him because I loved his design and everything. He was really cool, and I like drew a whole comic because it was like really fun. I had this very specific idea, and I was doing it digitally, and it was really fun, and I enjoyed it. But I was obviously working off of like what happened in the campaign. And then I graduated college, and I still really wanted to do like a comic. And I was like, but damn, I really don't like writing. Mars and I were friends in middle school, but we weren't really super close in high school. We kind of had
In
like our
school,
own
we drifted a
groups.
little bit.
We like knew of each other, and we were like amicable, but we didn't really like hang out very much. Every once in a while, in, like a
Whoa, what?
group setting.
There it is.
But then in college, we sort of ended up being like the only people we kind of kept in touch with from high school somehow.
It
And
was like the one last person I know from my
yeah, it
hometown.
was well, yeah, everybody kind of like ghosted me. And like I know one person in Mars's group like moved away, and it was just like, so I actually visited her at college one year, and we hung out, and we watched the anime Servamp, and it was at that
Yes,
moment that I was like, wow, we're fucking the same person.
our
we
tastes
are
are really
we
similar.
are the same person here. There's no question. And after that, we kept being friends, and I kind of had this like dull memory in my brain. I was like, I think that Mars is someone who likes her. Like I don't have like 100% like back it up thing, but I feel like deep in my bones that is like Mars's hobby is like writing stuff. So I just texted her one day. I'm like, hey, you like to write, right? And she's like, yeah, I write fan fiction and stuff. I'm like, cool. Wanna make a comic with me?
And then, of course, I reply with, "Oh my gosh, yes! I've only written fan fiction before, but I've always wanted to write a comic or a book or a story."
And here we
Guys,
are.
I was just so excited that day. I was like, "Holy shit!" Now, what was interesting is I didn't know how serious this project was going to be taken. Was it like, okay, let's try it and see where it goes, or is this going to be more of like a passing thing? But it's like kept growing and growing, and I'm like, oh, this is official. Okay.
Ori doesn't do a lot of things tiny. And that's bad for Ori, but it makes the comic happen.
Goes big or goes home.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it balances nicely because sometimes when I'm writing a scene, I just go off and then Ori can match it in the art.
I have been literally sitting here thinking, I'm like, ooh, there's all these like subtle facial expressions and things I need to happen in port because of how the characters feel. I'm like, oh,
absolutely
beautiful.
It's all gonna come together. It's gonna be glorious.
That's our origin story.
Yes.
And then we got together once, like in person, because both of our childhood homes are very close to each other.
Yes.
And we got together in person once, where we fleshed out the very, very first ever episode of Outcast, which is currently scrapped, and you can only read it on the Ko-fi. But
yes.
It got scrapped in the end. But Furry Transformer Honkai Star Impact. What? How did we get here?
What the?
Honkai Star Rail. I literally just followed someone. Okay, I gotta say, I have never played Genshin. I've never played Honkai. I never will play Genshin, and I never will.
I have played Genshin. I probably will never play Honkai. Genshin is just so much of a commitment already.
But I do absolutely adore the character designs, and obviously a lot of artists that I follow also like that. And also there's a lot of like Genshin and Honkai like specific artists. And I literally today, okay, this is so terrible. I opened Instagram specifically to search for someone that had the sound of the reel that I posted today. Like, that was specifically what I tried to do. And, well, the gods look really cool in Thus. And of course, like, Sayu voices the one guy. So, you know, like, it's all good shit. But,
Sayu voices Sino.
Well, he voices Sino, but he also voices someone in Honkai Star Rail.
Oh, Jing Yuan.
Thank you, Jing Yuan. And, both very different vibes, but very good. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, and I saw my, you open the, search in Instagram, right? And it immediately pops up, a bunch of, recommended for you things. And honestly, first thing is fucking Leos eating Pokemon, and his arms are out, and it's just like... Boy,
yeah, that
okay,
was
yeah,
great.
now I'm down a rabbit hole. Follow that artist. Thank you. Finally back out.
The door is like, Mars, you gotta see this.
Now I've forgotten what I came here for. So now I'm just scrolling through the For You. Like, ooh, yes, more Dungeon Meshi. Click, more Dungeon Meshi.
Yes,
click.
please.
Yeah, bro. I mean, if you've seen Dungeon Meshi, you know why he's eating He was eating all the Pokemon. He is eating all the Pokemon. Yes. Sometimes not to his...
He's having a Tangula spaghetti.
Yeah, scrambled execute. And all of that. It's great.
A chikorita salad.
Yeah, chikorita salad. Yeah. Real good stuff.
Matt Pat would be proud.
And, you guys, okay, if you guys haven't seen this video, go on the internet. This is a real back in time. This is 7-10 years ago. Go to Kick the PJ and look up Poke Chow. Just a good
okay,
vibe.
that just brought back flashbacks.
I know, right? Good vibe. Good
Holy
vibe.
crap.
Yeah, understandable drought. I feel like most of the food that I eat today I wouldn't be able to process from the actual animal itself. And I find that I don't even find that it's a guilt thing. I just find that it's just I don't wanna all the other organs. There's too much other shit in there that I don't want to deal with. I'm like, yes, if someone wanted to hunt, I will bring it to a butcher, and they can do their job to process it, but I will eat all of the meat, yes. Too many feathers, too many bones. When the bone is, cut into, whatever steak you get, it's just, you don't have to think about it, but,
Well, then it's already prepared. Your job is to enjoy, not prep.
And the blood, right? You don't think about that. You gotta drain the blood. I don't wanna, give me the...
Yeah, that's just not a job for me.
I had to, I bought myself like kitchen, like food prep gloves
Oh,
specifically because I
so
don't like.
fancy.
I just don't like. And this is like a sensory thing in general. Like when you're like constantly in the kitchen and you're constantly turning the water off and just to like clean off your fingers from that little
Oh,
bit of
yeah.
egg or that little bit of whatever. So it's just like, ooh, I can touch.
And it
I can
slows you down so much
Yeah,
to have to
and then my
pause
hand is
and do
constantly
that.
wet, and I'm trying not to like
And
touch other
dries
shit with it.
out, and
So,
it's horrible.
yeah. So I got these food prep gloves, and remember, you have to use them like not sparingly in the sense of like don't waste them. I mean like don't start thinking you can just touch everything. Like still, act like you have raw meat on your hands.
Yeah.
Like, don't start touching stuff just because you
It's
love
not
it.
a get out of jail free card.
Yeah. That's actually a thing I learned recently, where it was like a lot of places would rather restaurants and like food prep workers not wear gloves because you have to be more conscious about what is getting on your hands and what you're touching. You can't like ignore it, and they actually find that people who do wear gloves don't change them as often as you should because you don't think about it. And so it's like
I sadly believe that.
yeah. And so it was like
Blech.
ooh, that's rough, Drow. Yeah, no, couldn't do that. My dad went to Japan for work a lot of times, like on work, and he had like the octopus tentacles that like very fresh, so they're still wriggling around on on the plate. There's a fish, yeah, full head and all, head cut off, head there, but the tail would go. Yeah, I couldn't do that. That's too close to the thing. Yeah, 100% Drow.
It's like at that point, it might as well be alive.
Well, but exactly, Enthus. But if you're on top of it, then it's good. But it's just like the average person is just not, less conscious when you can't physically feel it on your hands, which, like, I get, like, it makes sense. Okay, one of these is what I want. There it is. That one. And so it's just like, yeah. But yeah, so I used to really hate preparing chicken because I hated touching it because and I'm not talking about a whole chicken. I still can't do that. I make Dylan do that. if I get like a whole roast chicken because I don't want to roast a chicken, I'm like, no, Dylan, you can process that. I can't do that. That grosses me the fuck out. I cannot. I am an incredibly picky eater. I do know someone pickier than me, but I'm still very, very picky, and I've cooked meat a lot for dinner, and it's like, a bunch of meat, like a roast, and then you like keep it for the week and you add it to different stuff for the week. But so I'm glad I'm the one cooking it, because I will say I'm definitely like, I'm putting the meat that I deem good in one container for me, and I'm putting the meat that's like, I can't do it, but it's not actually like bad in any way. It's just like, I'm really picky and I can't do it. And so I'm like, yes, Dylan and Doug can eat that because they are much less picky about it. Again, it's not bad meat. I'm just a prissy princess when it comes to eating food. This is not a joke. This is like not a joke though. Like this is
Guys,
so
I know
real.
Ori was talking about a roast. I didn't think she'd roast herself.
And that's where the twist comes in, Mars.
Dun dun dun. What is happening here? Okay, I see.
Nope. I to be honest, Oscar, I don't like any seafood at all. That's just a me preference. That's just like a flavor thing. It has like I wish I liked fish because like there's a lot of like really good looking fish dishes. Shellfish, I don't really. When you start getting out of the vertebrates, like my desire to eat it gets less and less.
Oh, you're gonna make me hungry. I love seafood.
Yeah, but I'm definitely not a seafood person, and it's sad because definitely like salmon looks really good, like tuna looks really good, but like it's just not for me.
It's also challenging because where we live is like big on seafood too.
Oh yeah, especially lobster.
Oh yeah.
Dylan loves seafood. I just made a bunch of shrimp for Dylan and Doug yesterday. I made myself chicken.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't eat shrimp. That's a texture thing, really bad. I hate the texture of shrimp.
It can be rubbery if it's not prepared right.
It's just all bad, in my opinion. There's no good one. It's just wrong.
You're like, there's no saving it. It's beyond hope.
Yeah, I really want to like tuna, but I just haven't had one that I'm into. I'm sorry, yeah, tuna. Same with salmon, but it's just I don't know what it is. They're just not for me. I'm definitely
To
a
be
big
fair,
food
tuna
texture
is
person.
super iffy. Like, you're either gonna get good tuna
Oh
or
my
bad
god,
tuna.
what kind of foods is this into? This is ominous. It's full of
Oh my
mercury.
God.
That is true. I am getting significantly less mercury in my diet by not eating seafood, so gonna live longer. That what's it? Bio accumulation? Biomagnification, that's what it is. Biomagnification.
Oh.
Okay, the eggs, I could never. I have seen those in person in
Oh, like
at like food stands. Yeah, where they
shoot.
started to
Why am I
develop
blanking on the word?
fertilized eggs. Yeah, for chicken
Yeah.
eggs. Couldn't do
Caviar, that was it.
Oh no, that's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about fertilized
Oh.
chicken eggs with the
Oh,
chicken
oh,
inside, and then they cook those, and then you just eat that. Mercury is toxic. Yes, exactly. Yeah, could never do that. The blood thing, I feel like if I didn't know what it was, there's a chance that I could enjoy it. You know, like if it was like in something and nobody told me what it was and I ate it, like there's a chance. But obviously, the idea of it is significantly off-putting, and I don't think I could ever make myself eat it. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. Versus you can't hide a fertilized chicken egg from me. Like it's kind of there.
That's gonna be pretty noticeable.
Yeah, couldn't do that.
Like there's no avoiding that one.
I don't even
No,
know if
thank
Dylan
you,
would eat
sir.
one of those. And he's a very try it kind of guy. I'd be interested in.
Very, very brave.
See, it's so funny. I love to try new foods, but to like a point. Right?
Ori's got her limits.
See, I feel like
I gotta be honest, I'll try
then why is that
anything at
good?
least once.
You can't get me to try anything
At
least once,
least.
no. You would try this egg thing once? You would do it?
I would give it a try.
Damn, I don't think I could.
Like,
See,
who knows?
I-
Maybe.
If it is literally,
But if I don't like it, I'll
If it
probably
is-
like. It's not staying. I will spit it out.
if it is the muscle meat of a fully grown, and I do preface on like adult, like mature land animal, I would eat it. That's basically where the line ends, though. Like, I've had gator, I've had ostrich, I've had, multiple kinds of deer, I've had goose and duck, and, we had goat the other day, that was really good. All those sort of things. I would try all of that.
So I have to ask, with the holiday coming up, are you a duck person or a lamb person?
Lamb.
Or neither?
No, it's lamb. And lamb I do count in this. It's adult mature because to my understanding they're like 2 years and younger. So it's not like it's younger than 2 years, but like they mature earlier than that. This is the whole thing. But I can't do veal, and well, obviously the ethical natures of veal is a whole thing. I don't know, the texture of it is just like it gave me the same vibe.
It kind of tastes like chicken, but like soft.
It's like silver. See, it was unappetizing to me to look at. Like it had a very like visual texture to it that I wasn't really behind. And then it was one of those things where it's like, because I know what it is, I was set up for like a very beef experience, and I love steak. Oof. I love steak, and it obviously was not that. So I feel like it's one of those things that I was just kind of off-put by my own expectations on top of that. And so it was very much, it's like, and like I will say the ethical of like what it actually is doesn't help, but
I feel like that's the cruelest thing when it comes to food is like you do
Yeah.
have those expectations and then it just does not taste how you
Well,
thought it would.
my
It's
favorite
just so disappointing.
my favorite example is I like in college it was really hard to get to the supermarket, and the only supermarket that you could get to and physically walk in, like be inside very easily without having a car, was this smaller sized food market of the Tops variety. Now I know there are bigger Tops, but ours was on the smaller side, and you had to take a bus. There were very few buses on that route. It was a whole thing, but it was definitely a tiny, not a lot of variety supermarket. And so one time, a friend of ours who had a car was like, I'm going to Trader Joe's, want to go? And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. Like, I want to go anywhere. Like, give me something new, man. And so I went to Trader Joe's. And so I'm like, I'm visual shopping, right? I don't have a fucking list. I'm just like, let's go. What do I want from Trader Joe's, right? I got like an allowance for food money. And so I was like, great, awesome, fantastic. I saw this and it was like macadamia and like some other nuts that I like milk. And I love nuts, okay? Like eating nuts is great. I think the only kind of nut I don't like is I'm not a Brazil nut person. I can't do that one. The texture is wrong and they're very large. So it's just like, no. But I was like, ooh, I've always wanted, and it comes in a fun carton and stuff. Like, I've always wanted to try
What's
one
not
of
to
the
love?
nut milks, right? Let me get it and try it. Now, I don't know if I actually like it.
How
or
long
not.
did it take for the regret to kick in?
Oh, the regret was immediate when I tried it. Nice, Mason. The regret was immediate when I tried it. But I think 90% of the reason that I was not ready is I love milk. Like, I love milk on its own. I drink 2 glasses of milk a day, like just straight milk. I can tell
so much milk, you guys.
If your milk was in a jug, if your milk was in a carton, if it's organic, if it's
She's
classic,
the milk connoisseur.
Skim, or 2 and 1% are too similar. I haven't been able to get that down, but whole 2 or skim, I can tell all those differences blindfolded, and I proved it. I think I was just not set up for the consistency of the milk, because I don't like skim milk, right? It's just water. And that's what nut milk is. Skim milk. And I immediately was like, nope, okay, hey, roommate, you like this?
Super watery.
I couldn't, it was just wrong. And I have no idea if that's with the flavor, or it was solely my expectations. Was like, I expected like nut flavored milk, right? Which is dumb.
Yeah,
but
no.
that's what I expected.
You were not gonna get that.
Oh, that's the best shit, enthuse. That is the best shit. I nearly went to a college that specifically has their own cows, and they sell the milk and make ice cream out of the milk on campus. Oh, it would have been so good. Okay, we're New York State people, and I've been to the New York State Fair twice because my college was literally basically like it was in the city where the campgrounds are, and so there's like a whole thing where you can go over there and you got like half price tickets for being a student, a student and everything. And what makes it so epic is that New York State's drink, like state drink, is milk. And so it's like a good, like there's like literally like you go, there's a whole thing where you go to a stand and you get a milk token, and I have a milk token because I bought more to like keep one. And then you go and you hand in the milk token to get like literally like milked on site. It is pasteurized because like legalities and stuff, but milked on site, and processed on site milk from there, and you can get chocolate or whatever. They also have maple
really
milk,
fun,
which is delicious. Because obviously maple syrup is the shit as well in New York, and apples. I've been to Apple Fest in New York. That was so good as well. Maple iced tea, maple lemonade. Oh, so good. So good. Honestly, all the New York State is my state because all the things. Drow, Mars is lactose intolerant as well. And yet...
I am. But I still can't drink skim milk. It tastes too... bleh.
It's just wrong. It's just not right.
It's just not the consistency of milk, like you said.
Yeah.
Exactly. I have to drink lactate milk. It gives me the fat I need in the milk without killing me. So, very
I
appreciated.
did not know about that, Enthuse. I fucking love milk though. It's great. And I am okay.
Ooh, that was a good swoop. Can I color it?
My
Again.
standard
Nice.
more tolerant. It's 2024. Yeah, Mason. Dang it, Drown Mars, be more tolerant. It's 2024. But
Hey, blame
I
my dad's
think
side of the family. He's the one with the lactose intolerance.
pasteurization is very important for milk because God, there's so much stuff. You know, I think that
Oh,
yes, that is correct. It needs
you
to be
could get so
pasteurized.
much damn
What
stuff.
I don't think needs to be as common as it is, I wish it was easier to get non-homogenized milk because that shit is good. That shit is good, man. That the cream floats on top and you just shake it up. So good. So good. There's one farm in New York. It's called Ronnie Brook Farms, and they make the best eggnog. Oh my god, seasonal. It comes out. We like hunt for it. So good, so good.
Ugh,
Um,
I hate
but they
you.
sell non-homogenized milk. That's good stuff.
How dare you?
What? Make it seasonal?
Make it lactose free.
What did I? Ooh, Dylan and I got these Greek yogurt bars, like
Oh,
ice cream bars.
yasso.
Yes.
I've had those. They're
They're
so
really
good.
It's nice because they're soft.
I
Even
used to eat
though
those at work all the
we
time.
got the
Like that was my
pistachio
treat
one.
every day. It was so
Well, I
so
saw that. I
good.
was like, ooh, it's lactose free. I should tell Mars about that. Because that's the whole thing. Right? I was
And they
so close.
like come in different flavors.
Yeah.
Like you're not just stuck with one.
But that's
It's
my
great.
whole thing.
It's so good.
Can I draw anatomy with no reference? Yes, I can. But for a lot of for the comic and for a lot of like specific poses, I take a lot of shortcuts in the comic because I have to do it so fucking much. But I do a lot of sketchbook drawings as well, and they're a lot without references and things like that. I don't know if I have something off the top of my head that has no reference in it. Trying to think. Ooh, I know all of the Valentine's Day ones were without reference.
Oh yes. And
The
those
main
came out
ones.
so good.
The rose ones. Well, without like models. Obviously they had reference, but without drawing on top of models. Why is my brain dying?
I don't know. Ori's brain, stop dying.
Holiday.
How dare you?
Nope, not Easter. Valentine's Day. We have to start here. You're gonna open?
There we go. A finished Totson and Ferrex panel.
You just have to be weird about it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so like this was no reference. I mean, again, no model. Reference is important. You shouldn't be. I mean, I do it in my sketchbook a lot because I'm lazy, but you really shouldn't be drawing without.
Don't be Ori.
reference.
Use your references.
You should, but you like I can do it without the model.
Okay, let's see.
But it
we
is
did
just
1, 2,
easier.
3, 4.
It's not easier. It's faster with the model. When I do it without the model, the first sketch is like so fucking messy that it's just like it just the time it takes is significant, and thus it's like I don't having to do like what's it like 30 panels a week.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
You gotta take some shortcuts here and there, or you'll drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, like copy paste in the references, the thingies and everything. I do. So I do have different sizes and slightly different body types for all of the characters, mainly specifically so that when I pose them together, they are easily, and that I will say is the biggest reason I use the models, especially in group things. Um, these are built-in things with Clip Studio Paint safe. Even the lower version, the Pro version, they're all built in and they're all models, and you can like change the sizes of them and the body proportions and everything. So it's really good. And the lower version is only like $60, so it's not that terrible, and it's a one-time purchase thing. So I do recommend it as an art program if you are looking to get something.
Yeah, honestly, not a bad deal at all.
Good night, Mason.
Good night, Mason. Thanks for
But I
hanging.
do have them specifically so that their sizes are consistent when in reference to each other. Because that's like, again, it's a big time saver than trying to figure out, like, look back at my height reference model. Oh God, wait, is he in perspective? You know, it's just, we're cutting corners because I gotta do it all the fucking time. Because that's the whole thing.
And this is why we need a hiatus after the next
After
chapter.
this one, yeah, after this one finishes,
Yes.
after entry 5 is done. But also, a lot of the characters I draw safe have like non-human body part proportions. So like a lot of the characters, you can kind of see here. Oh, I'm flipped and I didn't even realize. You can see not really any of these. None of them have Ferrix's legs, but they have, you know, digigrade legs. So I can't make a model do that. So that is a lot of things. And I only go
That's a lot of
loosely
guesswork,
off
but
the
at
model.
this point, Ori has so much experience doing it.
Yeah. And, you know, after a certain, like, there is a level where posing the models takes longer than just hashing it out. So you have to kind of find that balance of, like, are you relying on them too heavily? Like, these hands aren't the exact position that I want them to be, but the model helps, you know, get a general idea, and then I can sort of, like, fix them to how I want. Because if I spent the time trying to exactly figure out how the hands went in the model, that'd be more of a waste at that point as well. So it's, you know, it's a
It's
sort
kind
give
of
and
a
take
little
and
bit of
stuff.
knowing what to prioritize too.
And I don't
Like
have,
what needs the detail and what doesn't.
and as like as an artist, my style is not 100%, you know, anatomically accurate. That is conscious decisions I make. Like, I consciously make the head to like neck to shoulder ratio not, you know, I keep trying to say biblically accurate, but that's not the word I want. You know, fully anatomically accurate. So it's really just to like get the bones down, and then sometimes it even looks wrong, right? Like the model just like something wonky happened, or like the models don't bend 100% the way a human bends. So like there's certain poses that you kind of have to break the model in order to get approximate, and then you have to actually like use reference and look at it. But especially for doing like really like wild perspective and stuff, and like backgrounds and things, and 100% I really find it helpful in posing multiple characters together, just because you can really see how they lay. And while I can definitely get there without the models, it is just sort of like much more time consuming. And I don't really have the privilege of that. But that's a big reason I draw in my sketchbook. Not every day, but like at least once a week. And that you can't have models, you can't have anything. Honestly, I don't use as much reference as I should to look at. Welcome back, Nox.
Welcome back.
So
Good to
it
see
does
you.
keep the skills sharp. I don't think that there's any problem using these sort of shortcuts and everything, as long as you don't end up like relying on them 100%. Like, you can't draw a decent, okay looking human without a model, like without tracing on top of, you know, sketching on top of a model. Because I'm not really tracing, without sketching on top of a model, right? And that's like the distinction. A lot of comic artists that are on Webtoon doing their canvas use the Clip Studio Paint models, because it is just very helpful. and it's a tool, you know.
It's a good tool.
But
Why not use it?
they're not infallible, right? So you do still have to have a general idea. And I will say, like, before I even got Clip Studio paint models, I was drawing for years before that.
Yes. So Ori had a very good foundation to start with.
Now I was all self-taught, so you know, good is subjective. But
Call me biased, but I think it's good.
But I definitely had put in effort. And I did take one in-person art class in college that was specifically an anatomy class. It wasn't supposed to be an anatomy class, but it ended up being an anatomy class. Yeah, I signed up for sequential art. And it was literally just, and it was actually figure drawing in the end. I don't know what happened. I don't know if that professor very much felt like a guy that just kind of has an art degree and kind of walked in and was like, I teach this class.
I was
now.
about to say, I think that professor wandered into the wrong classroom.
Yeah, I do feel.
Kept going for the rest of semester.
But I won't deny that, like, it was a good class. So if you do have the option to do like an in-person figure drawing class, I do recommend it because it totally greatly improved my art. But
you'll definitely learn a lot by doing it.
Yeah. But it's certainly not mandatory, and you know, with focused study and everything. But I am not a person to like model yourself after, I guess, in the sense. I'm very much, without question, a hobby artist. Well, it would be cool to make money off a comic or something. It's definitely not my profession. Both Mars and I have careers in very different fields than art.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's got the nature science. I have the people science.
Yeah, people science.
Anatomy.
Yeah, dude. So that was this figure drawing class. It was live, actual naked people that stood in front of the class and did poses and stuff. And it was very interesting, and it was a very great experience, and it was very good. But thus, I highly recommend it. But yeah, it was not digital at all. And I will say, with all of the sketchbook drawing that I have been doing recently, because my job allows me to do a lot more sketchbook stuff while on the job, I sort of have greatly improved to the point where of like I dislike using the symmetry tool for a lot of natural things. And guys, that's just been in the past year. Yeah, you missed PC emoji code break, Mars.
Love this.
Well, it used to be. There was a point in my skill
Damn.
where it used to be faster, and then now there's a point. Now it's not faster. Now it's actually slow down.
This is what practice can do, you guys.
Yeah, constantly improving.
Always.
But I'm definitely not doing any sort of like a focused study in art. So my art improvement is sort of slower than it could be if I like was really trying. But I'm a hobby artist, so I literally am like, I will draw what I want to draw, and when I have the motivation to be like, yes, I want to specifically learn new skill, I will do it. But and I think that's something that should be normalized if it's not already normalized. I know sometimes the internet is weird. If I'm being honest, the internet affects me very little as a person.
Internet is basically like every hobby must become a hustle. And
yeah.
Like, no.
Which is really funny because my father's like that multiple times. And this is really funny. So something that I enjoy doing is Mars and I are in a TTRPG group with Dylan and Doug and one other table member. And this has been going on for years. Mars joined more recently, but the other four of us have been doing this for a while. And at one point, I was like, I'm drawing our characters and everything. I was like, ooh, it'd be fun trading cards of the characters because you have so many characters. And I was drawing those, and I like print them out and I laminate them, and they're like actual physical trading cards that like you can hand to people. Now I've toned it back a lot, and they're just like they're tarot card sized, and they're like a lot more detailed, and they're all digital now, just because I can do a lot more with the medium.
Hey, Ori?
Yeah.
Before you continue, can you tell me what this middle blue piece is?
That's his outer ear.
That's the outer ear? Okay, what was
Yeah.
this piece up here
That's his
then?
other outer ear.
What's this piece here
That's his inner
then?
ear.
Ah,
So he
okay.
has his right ear is the one in front of you, and then that piece in the back is his other ear.
Okay.
Because he's got 2 ears.
So this should be this color.
Yeah. And then the rest is good.
Okay.
Okay, what I mean by that enthuse, is that when you talk with a lot of, or at least not when you talk with, I don't talk with a lot of artists, but when you like watch a lot of like art YouTubers, especially like art commentary YouTubers, and you know
It's more so like
well, they always
letting
talk about
like the fandoms control you, like, oh, I need to draw what's popular this week in
well,
order
the
to stay
fandoms
trending.
control
Like,
you.
I
They
think a little
talk
bit like
about
that.
like people, sending hate to like beginner artists and things like that. Like
Oh yeah,
ragging on their style
that is
or their
sadly still a
effort
huge
and
issue.
everything, or like having doubt in your own abilities. Like a lot of artists having imposter syndrome, or a lot of artists like always hate their own work, or like perfectionists to like the end. And well, I have considered myself a perfectionist in the past. I will say that it's not to the level that recently perfectionism has been described to me. So maybe I never was. Who knows? But I've definitely toned it back a lot since the starting of the comic. But it is what I'm saying is that like even when hate comments, which are thankfully few and far between, to me it's more of like a milestone, right? It's gonna happen eventually, so once we're big enough, getting hate comments is like that's a prize,
Like,
right?
woo,
There's no
we made
situation
big.
where I'm never ever gonna get like a troll or a hate comment, and so it's more fun to like laugh at them and be like, what the hell are they even talking about? And so
I mean, hey, if they want to use up the time in their life to do that, be my guest.
I lost where this started though.
This started with Enthuse saying,
No. It
the
was
internet
before that.
affects me.
I said that
Oh,
because of something else, and that's what Enthuse referenced.
You said that. Oh crap, I don't remember.
Uh, but
I
I
was
think it
focusing
comes
too
back to
much on
like I'm a
Ferrex's
Oh,
ear.
it was making money off of
Hobby
things,
artist.
right? Yeah, it was making money off of
Oh,
things,
and you
and so a
mentioned
lot of
the trading cards. The trading
yeah,
cards.
and so my dad is like, oh, Ori, like you could sell these, and like you could like basically take commissions to make like IRL ones and mail them out and stuff. I was like, Dad, I ain't. Both me, my mom too. My mom was on my side. She's like, Dory, you don't gotta, make everything into like a business venture and everything. And it's a lot of work. I enjoy taking commissions, but I'm not like actively promoting them really hard or anything. I do work on commissions, but they're very few and far between, and they're more like something that just comes naturally from existing as an artist. Maybe one day I'll have to close them because they're that popular, but not today. But yeah, so it's more like I don't find the internet to pressure me to the point
I feel like that
needing
was
to
the
make
better
it
word, pressuring.
my life. Yeah, saying it affects me. Obviously, I would be very sad if what we have built this far got lost for some reason. That would be very incredibly depressing.
I mean, we did have a scare like that.
Yeah.
And that was terrible.
And it was horrible. But it's more like fandom community. A lot of people talk about like fandoms being toxic and ruining it for people. And I'm maybe I'm just lucky, but I've never had that experience. And I've been a part of these quote unquote toxic fandoms, like Voltron was a big one, right?
Oh,
and
God.
I just managed to curate my corner of the internet in a way that avoided a lot of it. Maybe I just am not willing to read. I guess I'm also never on Twitter. That's apparently a big distance.
It helps.
So like I never understood Twitter. Yeah, Ace Attorney Phantom, I have not heard about any Ace Attorney discourse. They're real chill over there. I mean, I feel like if you're like on law and justice side, you kind of get like, you get a vibe, maybe. But yeah, just very interesting. So that's what I meant by like it doesn't affect me. Obviously, like my life involves the internet, but like
Our lives revolve around it. Are you
and
kidding?
I definitely have, you know, put more pressure on myself in the past about certain things, but as you sort of settle into life, I've sort of chillaxed. The only two things I care about going out are the videos and the comic. And you know, and we're getting lax.
Those are the two
I've
big
been
ones.
very lucky. But I'm also, you know, I'm lucky in the fact that I've pretty much always enjoyed my, you know, my art, right? It was always a hobby. I have pieces that I still can like look back and be like, oh, I remember being really proud of that one. Is it kind of cringe now? Yeah, but at the time I was like, wow, this is epic as fuck. You know, still to this day, there's a lot of art. You know, I got to a point where even art that is older than the art that I have now, I still really, really think is good. And, you know, really like, so.
There you go.
Maybe
Just
maybe
gotta
I'm
build up
just,
to a point.
You know, I'm Ace. You know, maybe I'm just a god, guys. That's the only explanation here. An artist without imposter syndrome or hating their art or getting burnout.
Unheard of.
It's funny.
Who
I
are
definitely
you?
experience burnout, but not in like the full way. Like there's definitely times where it's like I have zero desire to draw anything of the comic, but I want to draw Hotsun and Milano doing little dances and whatever. You know, like I don't want to stop doing art. I just don't want to do that art.
What I'm hearing, Ori, is that you want to draw ships.
No, I want to draw Milano in emo boy clothes or Leos in spoiler.
Ah, yes. Yes. Very good spoiler, and especially when he did spoiler.
I'm so ready, Mars.
I'm gonna read it tomorrow!
I know!
I did book 12 tonight, I will do book 13 tomorrow.
That'll be my prize. Maybe I'll do some book 12 Marcel.
Please?
Did you like her outfit?
I really liked her outfit.
Wait until book 13,
I mean,
it's really funny.
I have definitely seen her outfit before, but
the only
I
thing
really
I didn't like
liked
was
it.
the ear covers. Just a little odd.
I like those. I didn't think
To
they
me,
were too
that-
bad.
It wasn't too bad, but like I wouldn't have put them there, you know. Leo's actually there's a panel where Leo's wears that outfit. He's not like wearing that outfit, but like they visualize him wearing that outfit, so he's drawn wearing that outfit. And it's really
Oh, that's great.
It's really, really funny.
Make way for the Monster King.
Yep.
No, but literally when the whole moment with Marcel happened, I was just like, oh, she's changed classes. She's a dark mage now.
Yep.
Save my girl.
I'm trying to go back to thinking about talking that stuff. What do we talk about?
Yes. If anyone has any questions,
Y'all
pertaining
have
to
been asking questions, which
comic.
I highly appreciate. Very helps drive
Yes.
the conversation in a direction, and you know
Oh,
goes
it
off on
helped
tangents
immensely.
anyway.
Exactly.
You
That's
just
the
help
beauty
decide
of it.
where the tangent will start.
I do gotta say, I am happy with the progress I'm making on this entry.
I'm on the last sketch that I have to do today.
I'm technically on the last panel I have to do today, which is
Oh,
kind of
amazing.
good because my
Damn.
hand is starting to hurt.
And it's still pretty early.
I know, right? I was like banging these out today. I am proud.
I'm very happy that my hand never really hurts anymore, but it does get fatigued if I go really, really hard. But we're talking like nearly all day.
I had to write 2 essays, so my hand is
Ooh.
like
See, writing sucks
Dunzo.
more than art. Maybe I just push too hard when I write, and I definitely don't push that hard when I art. But
oh
I cannot write as much as I can, as long as I can art. Lovely. Little hands. Every time I draw in my sketchbook, though, guys, I like do the sketch and my brain is like, oh, vision, vision. And then it feels like it's turning out good. And then I like pull back and I'm like, I hate this. This is terrible. This is horrible. Why is it so bad? But it's the very first sketch, which is like super rough. So then I would go over it with the needle eraser. We try again, and it's like, okay, yes, I can draw. I am able to draw.
You just gotta use that eraser to pull out the good details. Like,
No,
they're
see,
there.
it's
Give it
just
time.
another layer, right? It's like, I mean, you saw it with Unfollow, right? Where it's like, let's just get vibe down and make it really gross and disgusting, and just nobody can tell what I'm drawing except me. And it's like, okay, now that the vibe has kind of flowed in, now we can put the actual pieces on top.
That's like the point you gotta get to. It's like, only I know what's going on with
Which is
this,
funny.
and therefore it makes sense to me.
There is that classic, like, sometimes it has to get worse before it gets better. It's usually a lot
very
to do
much
with, like,
so.
painting. But I can't do I like painting. Like, I can't do painting. It's too much work. I guess maybe I'm just bad at it, and thus I'm slow at it. But, like, I gotta say, when I look at people doing stuff with, like, paint and, you know, like, really, really, like, in-depth stuff, it's just like, or, like, painterly style, like, digital art styles, I'm just like, damn.
It's a whole thing.
It's too much. Like, I admire the painterly styles from a distance, but I don't think I could ever be a lineless artist. I get close with, like, I like doing colored line art and stuff, or like softer line art, but it's still lines there, man. It's still lines.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely I relate to the whole, like, it gets worse before it gets better, because that can happen in writing too. Like, you might just be writing, like, maybe very basic dialogue. That's sometimes the thing that stings the most. I don't know why they tell you this in creative writing courses or just writing in general, where it's like, "Ooh, think of words other than said." Like, stop saying the word said, stop saying the word and, stop saying, like, all these necessary words that are used to transition to the next part of the story. I don't know why they encourage you to not use them. I understand needing variety, and I'm totally here for it. But sometimes the word said just needs to be there.
It needs
Okay?
to be said.
Exactly. But the problem is you have that mentality. Like, you've heard people say, like, "Oh, don't use it, don't use it." You, like, hear the teachers in the back of your head, and suddenly, like, you look at your script and that's the only word you can see in your script. You're like, "Oh God, I used it there, I used it there, I used it there. Oh geez, this sounds like an amateur wrote it." It's like, no.
Well, that's what's
No,
so.
you just kind of got to get out of your own head for a bit.
What I think is that's like a big issue with teaching in general. I find is just the sort of propensity to, like, absolutes, right? They really teach you a lot of absolutes, or they dumb it down to a level that never gets explained further. And
Yeah.
it's just like, I understand being like a child. Okay, you want to know my biggest pet peeve with fucking dumbing it down? Evergreens versus
here's
deciduous trees. Yeah.
What'd you
that's a good
say?
one. Evergreen trees versus deciduous trees.
Oh
They
geez,
teach you
how's
the
it going
fucking
now?
word deciduous in elementary school. Okay, this is a very vivid memory of mine. We went to a park and we looked at pine trees, actual pine trees, not pine trees that people just call all needle trees pines, actual pines. And I think it was an oak or a maple, I can't remember. And it was like, oh, look at these trees. So it talks about and it frames it. Now, I can't be for certain 100% that they ever specifically said opposite, but they frame it very heavily that these are the two types of trees, like the two overarching tree groupings, and that all trees fit into one or the other of these categories, and
Oh,
evergreen
yeah, I
trees
remember them
are
teaching us
are green
that.
all year round and they have needles, and deciduous
Yup.
trees lose
Oh,
their
that's
leaves
like
and
the
have big
classic.
fat leaves. This is blatantly false. This is false on numerous levels.
You
This
hear
is
that,
not a
guys? You've all
thing.
been lied to.
You have been lied to. Evergreen is not the well, no. Evergreen is the opposite of deciduous, but conifer is not the opposite of deciduous. That's the whole thing. They're like evergreen and conifer, they're the same thing. It's not the same thing. Conifer is not the same as evergreen. They're not interchangeable. You cannot swap one for the other willy-nilly. And deciduous is not the opposite of conifer. Okay, that's not a thing. Because there are a significant amount of conifers, which are trees with needles, that are deciduous, where they lose their needles in the fall. There are actually a significant amount of trees that do this that are native to where Mars and I live. Now, yeah, that's what I'm talking
Quite a
about.
few,
That's what I
actually.
mean. Yeah, deciduous is not the opposite of coniferous. That is not a thing. Coniferous means it has cones. That's it. That's all it means. Now, all cone trees have needles because that's just how it works. But it specifically means it has cones. Literally all it means. But bald cypress, eastern tamarack, sequoia, redwoods, literally all redwoods, are deciduous conifers that fully, completely lose all of their needles in the fall. They turn yellow and they drop off. And the amount of people that I have... Yeah, it's not carnivorous, it's coniferous, like Coniferous. And the amount of people that I have had when I worked for a tree company were like, what is wrong with my tree? It's just deciduous, because they can't put two and two together, that it can have needles and it can lose those needles in the fall. And then on top of that, there are what are called broadleaf trees. That's the opposite of conifer. Conifer versus broadleaf, and evergreen versus deciduous. Those are the two things. And there are evergreen broadleaf trees. Big one being holly. Fucking massive one is holly. Also certain azaleas and rhododendrons. And depending on where you live, a lot more plants are evergreen because of the weather. But it just irks me so much because it's like, oh, they're dumbing it down. And it's like, no. Because one, you're teaching children the word deciduous. So, like, are you really dumbing it down? And two,
It's like, make it make sense.
you're blatantly wrong. Right? It's not even like a Punnett square is a simplification of genetics, right? And then when you get really into genetics, there's a lot more that goes into it. At least a Punnett square is correct, right? It's just not the end-all be-all. But conifer is the opposite of deciduous is wrong. Just wrong. There's no way you could make that right. And it hurts me inside a lot. But going back to what Mars was talking about, they teach you in a lot of absolutes like that, where it's like, never use said. Always use POQ, right? Must be
that one
X
drove me
amount
crazy.
of words, right?
Okay, that X amount of words thing, all it does is teach you how to fill up space with
exactly.
filler.
Hate it a lot.
Like, if I had a professor once who literally was like, if you can say it in this many words and make your point clear, then use that many words. I don't care about the length as long as you at least put the effort in.
See,
Obviously, we couldn't write like one or two sentences. It did have to be a paragraph, but there was never a word limit. And I was like, thank you.
I think that word limits are okay in the sense of specifically small word limits. Because that is an exercise
Well,
in
small word
simplification.
limits can be another like the opposite end of the spectrum because so many times with my small word limits, I am constantly using the word tool to check how many words I have.
Well, I think there's a difference between like here is an essay and the focus is not on how many words it is. The focus is on something else, and then I've also added a relatively arbitrary feeling amount of words that if you don't meet or go over, like if you go over or you don't meet, that loses points. That's dumb.
Mm.
But I can definitely see like an exercise in the point of this specific assignment is summarize this book in, 50 words or
That I
less,
can
right? Like that
understand.
I can understand. But being like, no, the focus of this assignment is how comparisons show up in the Great Gatsby between characters and use quotes and stuff must be 5,000 words. It's like, why though?
But why?
But why though? Fucking lab reports having fucking word
Oh,
counts. Hate it. Hate lab
that
reports.
was the
Lab reports
worst.
suck.
Why did lab reports need word counts in the first place?
Yeah, do scientific papers have word counts? I don't fucking think
Not that
so.
I'm aware of.
Unless somebody is a scientist that can tell me that, oh yeah, no, in order to publish it, I need to have X amount of words in my fucking scientific paper. But also think about the experiments that you're doing in scientific papers will have a lot more going on than the ones I have to do in 3 hours at
Exactly.
school.
And those papers are like at least 9 to 17 pages long sometimes. Clearly, they don't have a word count,
Well, the word minimum,
a word limit, I think I
Yeah.
meant.
It's
But
just like,
to
oh.
bring this all back around, yeah, it exists in writing too, where sometimes you look at what you have and you're like, oh, wow, this is terrible. But then you see the big picture and it's like, oh, no, that actually came together. That's something I've definitely had to learn with writing the comic because there are just so moments where I'm like, I'm not sure how I'm going to write this. And I really want to write like the really exciting part coming up. So, what I found helpful is put in some filler for the meantime and then kind of backtrack and then fill in the missing pieces. Because sometimes what happens in the quote unquote exciting bit can inform what comes before. Because, like, I have the pieces of everything that came before this entry I'm writing, and now I have the piece of the really exciting part that's going to happen later. Now I could use both to make this next segment. And sometimes that helps with the block.
You ever, this is completely unrelated, I mean, it's comic related, but you ever look at a panel and be like, damn, I know, like, that's an amazing animation transition.
Oh, hell yes.
like this from this panel, and then just it cuts, or like fades into this panel. That's the transition, man. That's
Uh,
the the
You were definitely inspired by Dungeon Meshi. I can see it.
I'm inspired by a lot of shit. But yeah, Dungeon Meshi has affected my art style. Just like, see, it's
That
funny.
has.
Mars talks about Trigun affecting my art style. And what's funny is that in that case, Trigun was like a facilitator to do an experiment that I ended up liking, versus Dungeon Meshi has explicitly, and I'm speaking specifically of the manga, you thought it was too specific? Really love the ocean to boat gradient transition. Now I have to look at what we're talking about.
I think
Never too
that's one of
specific
the
though,
cleric entries.
Enthuse.
You can
It's the
always
most
comment
specific.
enthuse. Please don't worry
Yeah.
about being too
Literally
specific.
everybody's
We
trying to
welcome
read the
any and
same
all
one.
comments.
So, never too
Well,
specific.
maybe not any, preferably nice ones if you
Yeah,
can.
don't leave
Please
mean
and thank you.
ones. I might, do some internet shenanigans if you leave mean ones.
We don't want to make Ori
Oh,
cry,
okay,
guys.
okay. Where he pushes it into Hotun's chest, and then we scroll all the way down, and the time has passed.
Oh, that's a fun one.
My favorite one is also in this one. I really like Ferric's flipping back over. He like leans back. I'll show it on screen.
Yes. Oh, I had
really like
such
that
a
one a
good
lot.
time coloring that one too.
So So I really like, yeah. So he kind of leans back.
That reminds me,
Yeah,
I need to
that
share
yeah,
this
do this.
entry in the Webtoon
Gotta have the
Discord.
awkwardness. Gotta have the time skip going on, and then we get there. But I really just like how this goes. Where he leans back, he does the thing, and then he just sort of kicks off and flips like the acrobatic boy he is. We love him.
Yes.
This pose is great. I love this one a lot. I feel like this has a lot of movement in it. Ferrex makes my life hard, I will say. He makes my life
He
very difficult.
stretches the entries out so much, but I gotta say, because he's been in so many panels, I've gotten really good and really quick at coloring him.
Oh, that's good. I just find that,
So,
like,
that's a
Ferrex
bonus.
is definitely one of those characters that, like, if the universe permitted Outcast to get, like, an animated series, he would really, really, really benefit from it. Him and Milano
hell
would
yeah.
benefit the most from being animated. They're just very movement
I feel like
guys.
Hotsun would too, because you also have those wild facial expressions.
That would be good.
Like,
but I
you
feel
could
like
definitely
you
capture it in a panel, but you could get, like, some
Yeah.
more movement in there, like quick
versus
reactions.
like Ferrex is like constantly moving. Milano's constantly like walking around. So I feel like it's just you can capture it a lot better in animation. So they would both benefit very well from being animated. However, just as I don't, neither should you hold out hopes for that ever happening. Animation takes a long time.
Guys, help us be as popular as God of High School so we get an anime.
God, yeah, we ain't reaching that. I'm sorry. I don't know. I wish animation wasn't so expensive.
Same.
Because
Okay, I need to share this because this is kind of wild.
oh yeah,
I don't know if you heard, Ori. Did you hear about Mappa's next anime?
I don't think so. No.
They're making an anime about the trials and tribulations of an animator working
my
for
God.
an animation company. Even though Mappa themselves are
Oh
like
my
under
God.
allegations of not
What
treating their
the
staff
fuck?
well. Like,
Wait.
I think this is a cry for help.
that has to have been in production for a bit to be announced.
This
Damn.
has the most irony I have ever seen.
Oofa doofa boofity boo. Wow. I'm just sitting here in shock. I'm like when you're talking about this, I'm like going over in my head. I'm like, wait, isn't Mappa the Jujutsu Kaisen? Yeah, it is the Jujutsu.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're-
you know.
You went through all the 5 stages of grief there. It
Well,
sounded
not
like
acceptance. Not acceptance. I don't accept this.
never acceptance.
I'm very, like, well, irony. I'm very curious what they're gonna touch on in it because of that specifically,
Me
though.
too.
Right? Like
Because
I
you
feel
know
like-
this is gonna come with internet backlash.
Not even that. It's like, imagine your boss. You have the shittiest boss in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's a writing boss, right? And you specifically write like maybe newspaper editor or whatever, doesn't matter. And you specifically write a news article about horrible bosses, like an op-ed or something about horrible bosses. And you're basically just listing the shit the boss does, right? You got 2 options there. One, your boss is so oblivious and just doesn't even think about that it could possibly be about them. Or 2, like, fuck, like, oh.
That's why some people online are saying, "Oh, this is a cry for help."
But someone had to greenlight it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly. That's why it's such like a baffling decision.
I don't even know. Okay, wild times we live in, guys.
Also, completely off topic, but because Ori sang the opening of it, I saw the Wonka movie this past weekend finally. It's decent. I thought there were some scenes. Well, okay, here's my biggest problem with it, is that they clearly want this Wonka to be the original Wonka, the Gene Wilder version of
Yeah,
Willy
the
Wonka.
better Willy Wonka,
Oh,
100%.
very much the better. It's sorry,
Forget
Johnny
Charlie and the
Depp,
Chocolate.
but no one's being Gene Wilder.
I
Sorry.
never watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I refuse to.
You're not missing anything.
Oh no, I know. That's why I refuse to.
I mean, aside from maybe a so bad it's good drunk
I
night,
think my parents actually saved me from that. I think that I got to watch the Gene Wilder one. I loved it so much. I'm like, oh, there's like a sequel with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I was like, and my parents are like, no, don't watch it. No, you're never
yeah,
watching
no.
that. It's bad. It's no. I think they were like, it's scary. He's creepy. Don't watch it, Ori. It's bad. You'll get nightmares. Oh, I'm young when I'm watching the first Willy Wonka.
Oh yeah, and the original Gene Wilder version didn't have the tunnel scene where they chopped off a chicken's head.
Yeah. But
That's before PG-13.
But
or
then I never
PG.
watched it, and then I got to the point of where, like, I could internet and I could understand that people hated it, and I was like, "Yep, never watching that."
Yeah, 'twas not a good one. So in the musical Wonka version, like in the 2023 version,
Yeah.
they clearly want him to be the Gene Wilder version.
Yeah.
So the way it worked in the original movie was that Willy Wonka and the factory, like once you got inside the place, it was super magical, it was super
Yeah.
weird and just really
It
eccentric.
wasn't a factory at all.
But
it was a world.
everything outside of it was
Sucks.
normal. Like it was the real world when you
And
were
very
outside
grim
of the
real
factory.
world, like a very
It was
low.
very grim. We
low
were following
class,
like
a lot of
a low
gray.
income family.
Definitely felt like
There was
England.
oh yeah, and there was some social like light social
Oh.
commentary, but
A
definitely
fair
some
amount
social
of-
commentary
a
going
surprising
on.
amount of social commentary going on if you really watched it. Like, oh, damn.
Here is my biggest problem with the Wonka movie. They do have Willy Wonka like do the eccentric things and the stuff around him is magical. That part's great. But then they have the three chocolate conglomerates also be eccentrics
Hey,
and
what?
have uh like
What?
not magic per se, but like weird scenarios. Okay, so to paint you a picture, like this, I am not making this up. I swear to God. So the three chocolate conglomerates, they're trying to run out Willy Wonka. They don't want him to sell chocolate because his is clearly better, and they're trying to hold a monopoly on the chocolate. They keep all their chocolate underground in a cathedral protected by chocoholic monks. Those are the movie's words, not mine. Chocoholic monks that are being bribed with the chocolate conglomerate's chocolate to keep the chocolate under the vault safe. And there's like an elevator that drops you down from the confessional. It's like, okay, that does sound like something Roald Dahl would write. The idea is very Roald Dahl. But the people that quote unquote made the idea, like these chocolate conglomerates, no, the weirdness is supposed to be around Willy Wonka, not the people outside of him. Like, they're not the magical ones. That was my biggest problem with the movie. It definitely like has that, but I'm like, why are the people not related to Willy Wonka also super eccentric? Like, that's not how it was in the like. Yes, they had
They could have solved
the
it. They could have
extremists
solved it.
in the original movie,
They could have solved
but
it
not eccentrics.
if they made the chocolate conglomerate heads related to Willy Wonka.
Well, you know what they did? They named one of them Slugworth,
Oh.
but it's not the same Slugworth
Yeah.
that helps him in the quote unquote later movie. And they don't even acknowledge it.
Oh.
They're like, it's almost like the movie saying, yeah, we don't know how we were going to explain this either, so we're just not
I'm
gonna.
just gonna throw it in there. Haha, you
Yeah.
Haha.
No, actually, that's what it comes across as. I'm like, again, I don't think it's a bad movie. I did have a fun time watching it.
Yeah, how are the songs?
There were- The songs, there were three I really liked. Hatful of Dreams was a good opening number, really establishes Willy Wonka's tone and everything. That was good. There's a duet between Willy Wonka and the little girl. Her name is Noodle. Um, that one was very cute, very wholesome. She's like singing about how she'd given up on hope. She always felt sad, but now here's this new friend bringing magic into her life and she has hope again. And Willie's singing in the background, like, chin up, Noodle, basically.
Mm.
So, yeah, chin up, Charlie. We're doing that again. And then the third song I really liked was I'm going to call it the Willy Wonka marketing song because what's happening during that scene is he's figuring out a way to sell chocolate without being caught by the police because the police are in cahoots with the chocolate
Oh my
conglomerate,
gosh.
obviously. So
Obviously.
he's like sneaking around the city, he's doing all these tricks to avoid getting caught, and it's like it's a montage segment and it's showing over time like people are falling in love with this chocolate, they really like it, and one of the lyrics is like apocalypse full of chocolate. Like I thought it was kind of cute. It was silly, but it was cute, and that felt like it had the spirit of the original.
Mm.
My biggest problem with the songs though, they all kind of sound the same.
Mm.
Like, those 3 songs sounded different enough that I can distinguish them, but then every other song was like, this sounds like they all have that French, like, violin type sound. I was like, I think they're all in the same measure as well, like that
Mm.
4/4, like, there's no variation. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, they're good songs, but not super memorable.
I see.
I think the visuals go a long way to making them memorable. Like Hat Full of Dreams, he arrives in the city for the first time, so that's a big sweeping shot. The duet between him and Noodle, they're dancing on the rooftop of a zoo, so that's pretty memorable. And then the whole marketing scene, that's literally him running, escaping the police. Everyone's buying their chocolate. They were
Now my
so close to having something because in Hat Full of Dreams, it starts out so Wonka's singing like, "I'm gonna make my way, I'm gonna do this, I have a lot of passion, blah, 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 and a hat full of dreams." And he's dancing in the town square, and there's a lot of dancers around him, and it's, like, lit up like a Broadway stage, you have the lights and everything, the choreography, it looks great, but then there's a cut, and it shows him just dancing in the streets of London by himself, the police watching him like, "What the hell?" But then it cuts back to his perspective and we see all the dancers and all the magical stuff around him again. And I'm like, yes, that's it. Like, have it be in his head until he makes it reality. That would have been so good. I really wish they stuck with that idea.
mm.
Like, just this idea that all these people dancing are in his head. Like, this is his dream and everything.
My final question is, how
Yeah.
was Timothy Chalamet?
He had such a tall order to fill. Filling Gene Wilder's shoes and being a young Willy, like he was always going to be compared.
No, that he's
I
not. No, 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 Enthuse. Not schizophrenic. That he's imagining what he wants, and thus he makes it a reality. Not that he's
Yeah.
hallucinating.
No, no, no,
Right?
not
There's a difference. He's
hallucinating.
imagining. Right?
He's
He's imagining.
exactly.
It's like when he's playing pretend, and then he makes it. It gives very It gives very Greatest Showman vibes.
Yes.
Right? When we see the whole thing. Hello, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. Glad
Did
you
you
could
see the
join
animation,
us.
Nicole? My
Oh,
finished animation.
it was such a good animation.
But
It was amazing.
yeah, where it's, what's that song in The Greatest Showman called? Why am I blanking so far? A Million Dreams. There it is.
A Million Dreams.
That it gives very
Yeah.
much that vibe. Is what Mars is going for.
It starts out realistic. They're in the house. Then we cut to a montage of him growing up and surviving on the streets.
But him imagining
then
them
we
alive and walking through the things.
exactly.
Oh, go watch it, Nicole.
Oh,
Can I grab it up, maybe?
you definitely need to watch Greatest Showman.
Oh, I think Nicole's talking about the short.
Oh, pfft. Well, go watch Greatest Showman anyway. The music is too good.
I listen to the music all the time.
Uh, I have envisioned Milano and Hudson dancing to that, both A Million Dreams and Rewrite the Stars.
Oh, see, and
With
my whole
with
thing,
Hudson as the acrobat and Milano being Troy Bolton.
and I'm really Zac Efron, get his name right. But
Ugh,
I'm really here
Gen Z,
for
no, he's always going to be Troy Bolton.
I see, and I'm here for the why am I absolutely blanking? I sing these songs all the time. Why am I blanking on what they're all called? Um,
Which one?
the one with
Is it with Zac
Bolton and
Efron
Wolverine,
and
and they're in the bar, and he's like they're trying to make a
oh,
deal to join. What is that called?
okay, my friend. Da, da, da,
The Other
da.
Side.
The other side. I'll take you
Okay.
to the other
See, I
side.
see
Yeah.
that one with Milano and Hudson really hard. With Hudson as Troy Bolton, and Milano is Wolverine.
Oh, I could
Like the
definitely
other
see
names.
that too. I'm
That one
just
I see a
heavily
lot.
leaning toward the ship.
Yeah. And I'm here like, no, making a deal to be a pirate and like trying to get it to go along. And Hudson
Well,
seems higher
that's the
class.
canon timeline.
Thank you,
Enthused, to
Nicole.
answer your question and also to answer Ori's question because you
Yeah.
did ask this. Honestly, I thought he did a pretty good job. There were a couple times where I was like, okay, that was really like strange delivery. There's one moment where he just bursts into random, it's either laughter or scream, and I'm just like, was he channeling Johnny Depp there? That was weird. But for the
Mm.
most part, he does try to do like he's mostly doing the wide eye innocent routine. Like he's in the big city, he's being
Uh,
taken advantage of,
he
he's
doesn't
very
have that bit
naive.
of crazy behind his eyes that you other guy.
He he doesn't have the bit of
Oh, you need
crazy.
that
He
tad,
has
the
he has
tad
the
little bit of
hopeless
crazy.
dreamer.
Mm.
Like there's this whole like not a speech per se, but there's like these little moments where it's like, why don't the flamingos fly? Oh, it's because they don't know how. Is like, okay, like you're so close. You're almost there. You've almost reached like the level of the original Wonka, but it's not crazy insightfulness. It's just
See,
wide-eyed visionary,
the
if that makes
Wonka,
sense.
my Wonka. I feel like Willy Wonka is a story that just needs to stay how it was. I feel like it's one of those
Mm.
stories that I don't know if you can do it better than the first
But
one.
Willy Wonka is such a hard character to
That's what I'm
write
saying.
because you
It's
have to balance
very
because you can't go too
specific.
crazy or he looks like a psychopath,
He
but you
can't
can't
be
go
schizophrenic. We're not at that
too
level. That's not the
nice
thing.
or
Yeah.
there's no mystery to him. Like that
And
was always the big thing in the original. You never
well, that's
know
the other
if the
thing.
kids who got taken away made it out okay.
What I think is
But then you saw him
so
being really nice to Charlie at the end. So it left you with like, oh, this is a good guy.
what I think is so perfect about the original movie and and the story and everything is that you never get all of the answers. And I feel
Mm.
like any attempt to flush out Wonka more as a character is losing the thread, right?
So
Having that sort of like, yeah, is he, are the kids dead? Are they stuck? What happened? Oh, he really just wants, like, this is very, you get that little bit at the end. This is a very important thing to him. He wants to make sure that whoever, takes it over
yeah.
has the good intentions, has his similar drive to be.
And it has to be a child because they have the same visions as he does.
Yeah, he's very cynical about, adults and stuff, but he also, like, he likes Grandpa Joe, it was like a whole, because Grandpa Joe does have that little kid spark in the whole thing. And so it's just like, but I also find that the Gene Wilder version has that, like, when you watch it as a child, it's just fun Fantasyland, right?
But it's also
There's
very
no,
whimsical.
yeah,
Like
very
they
whimsical.
find that balance. Oh, this is one thing I have to mention. They use an instrumental version of World of Pure Imagination,
Mm-hmm.
like throughout the soundtrack. And then they use it for a big moment at the very end of the movie where I'm pretty sure it's the exact same lyrics, but they kind of like up the instrumentals. It's not like full orchestral, but it's getting close. So we go from like this lullaby-ish do 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 do
Oh,
do
that's
to like
decent.
Georgia's like
Well, I find, see, World of Pure Imagination, I
it's a
feel like
lot.
encapsulates the whole vibe of what the Willy Wonka, the Gene Wilder
Well,
movie
that's like
is,
the theme
is that it's like,
song of
oh,
that
but
movie.
the idea that it's a little creepy at the end,
Yeah.
right? Like you listen to the song, and it's like, oh, he's singing, well, the pure imagine is very elegant
But
and
then he's also
distinct,
like
but he's
slapping
also
his
like,
cane and stopping people from walking,
yeah,
and he's
and
like
he's eating a
pulling hairs
flower
off
and he's
heads.
doing all this
Like,
stuff. But then at the end, I don't even, what's the last line? And he's just like, and then it just goes, and it like kind of fades as he kind of has that like kind of a little crazy behind the eyes look over there. It's just like, is this man okay to be in charge of all these children? Because the other adults don't seem to be okay. Like, I don't know.
the one final thing I have to share about the musical Willy Wonka, I'll just call it musical Willy Wonka, because that's basically what it is. They give Wonka a motivation for making chocolate. And they basically made him this is something my parent really loved, and I want to do it to make them proud. And I'm like,
That doesn't
okay,
feel right.
I'm all for exploring Wonka's character, but I cannot imagine OG Wonka being like, no, I make chocolate because my mom put me on that. But like, no,
Yeah.
he makes it because he wants to.
See,
That's his vision.
What I see is Willy Wonka, like original Gene Wilder. He had a piece of chocolate for the first time as a child. I don't care how, and then like bam, there it is. Either he could make it better, or this is the best thing in the world, and I want to be somebody bringing that to the
Kind
world.
of what they
That's
try
the
to
vibe I
do.
got.
That's what they try to do. So he gets his first piece of chocolate. Basically, he grew up really poor. So his mom like bought a cocoa bean a week throughout the year, and by the time his birthday came around, she could make one single bar of chocolate. So that was his present for his birthday. And then
Yeah,
she
I'm imagining
passes, blah
being
blah
able to
blah,
buy single cocoa
dead
beans.
mother, a la Disney. So I don't know. It's like it's so close. It's so close, but it's
I
just
feel like
not
that makes it worse
there.
sometimes. Is when it's like you nearly hit it,
Yeah.
like Rise from the Ashes. But I won't bring it back to that.
Because it's like I can see where these ideas are coming from, and I can see the potential in them, but like there's those less is more with Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka is just a character that needs mystery to him. I think they could have done that. Like, do we need him to have a motivation to want to make chocolate? Did we need to know that?
Beyond, ooh, chocolate good. I wanna make chocolate.
I honestly imagined him like going into the sea and being like, I will have the biggest chocolate empire. Just watch me.
I think my biggest thing is it just has to not be about money.
Yeah.
It has to be very
it wouldn't be about money. It would be about making the craziest chocolates he could.
Exactly. I don't know if Safe Game is here still. I don't even remember Safe something.
I think it's Safe Gaming. Safe Gaming. I forgot the
But
A.
yeah, you can see here where I put the perspective in it to just sort of get an idea, but I still had to like, a human doesn't lay board stiff here. This shoulder doesn't work that way. The model just can't do it. So you have to bring the shoulder up. You have to, curve the body down. I've kind of turned him a little more. The leg probably comes over. It doesn't,
just to get a more organic
They
pose.
don't lay directly on top of each other stacked, so it's like the model helps, but if you can't go off model, you're not gonna have, as good results.
'Tis an art form.
Haha, yeah.
But yeah, those were my thoughts about the Wonka movie. Again, I had fun with it. There were some scenes I thought really worked, and then there were others where I was like, why the hell are we doing this? Oh, mixed bag. Watch it for yourself and be your own judge.
If you care enough. I probably won't.
I will say
I'm a lazy movie person these days. I do gotta say. I don't know.
At the very least, listen to Hat Full of Dreams. I feel like that would be your favorite.
Okay.
because it's just got that whimsical, like young, hopeful feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if that works for Willy Wonka, but as a song to listen to, it's fun.
That's so. I'm going off now on a tangent because oh shit, I forgot its brain. Okay, we'll fix that. Um,
Hooray!
it would have gotten caught eventually.
You forgot Hoatson's braid.
Even Dune enthuse. Damn.
Oof!
Even Dune.
I have
Dune
not
is
seen
good.
the new.
I haven't
don't
seen
think
the
I'm gonna
second. I haven't
see
seen the
Dune.
second one. You don't see? You think you're gonna see part two?
I fell asleep on the first one. I thought it was so
See,
boring.
the second one is supposed to be the actual action bit. The first one is like set.
Why did I have to wait a whole movie to actually get something?
Because that's how the book works, and they're actually much more true to the book. Yeah, exactly, Enthuse. The second one is where the action happens. Okay? Yes, Dune 1 was always going to be a snooze fest because just like any story, you have to set up this entire world of a whole thing.
And it really took us 3 hours to do that?
Have you seen the size of the Dune book, Mars?
I have not. Is it as big as Les Miserables?
Let's go look at Dune book.
Ooh, I'm about to get edumacated.
Give me the side. Give me the side profile. None of you are the physical.
I don't know. Even knowing that the second one has a bit more action. Like, guys, don't get me wrong. I love a slow story, but something's gotta freaking happen in it.
This is showing the sheer.
This is definitely a me thing. I'm not begrudging anyone who likes Dune. Please like Dune if you want to. It's just my personal feelings. I feel like Dune's one of those movies like Star Wars where it's like, I actually didn't like it very much. Like, the internet's gonna shoot you down. There's 3 rules of the internet. Don't piss off the Star Wars people. Don't piss off the Trekkies. Don't piss off the Duners.
I'm trying to get like a thickness. There, is that good? None of these like give you scale. You know what I'm saying? Like I see the book, but nothing in the image is.
Ooh, that's cool, Kenzie Fox.
Encompass.
You're working on that with your own thing. Is that a story or a comic? I'm so curious what you're working on. And I totally agree. You
I
can
think
have
you
a first
can make
arc
it
and still
interesting.
set up world building.
But
I
do
just
think,
I don't think it was for me.
I think that like I would say that to me the first arc was interesting, but oh here we go. This is a good image. Okay, of the size.
Well, Kenzie, that's the beauty of if you're working in a visual medium, you can hide all the detail there instead of in the dialogue.
There you go, Mars.
Okay, it's fucking massive.
Yeah. So these 2 movies are supposed to be encompassing that entire thing.
God.
So there's a reason that they had to have the first one.
I understand.
Well,
I did wake up when the sandworms came. That woke me up.
Well, Kenzie, I do find that the best way to get better at any of them is to do a comic. And that I have definitely improved in art a significant amount by basically forcing myself to draw what I saw as the right move in Outcast.
Took a lot of practice.
There's definitely one of my favorite things is I used to suck really, really, really bad at side profiles. I didn't like drawing them. I was not good at drawing them.
If you look at some of the first side profiles, especially of Ferrex compared to now,
yeah,
holy world difference, Batman.
The very early ones were like, oh yeah, amateur. But now I, 1, love drawing side profiles, and 2, they're like, yeah, side profiles do suck, Mofu buns. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to, but once you get it, it's just like.
It clicks.
Your comic used to be a novel, but it was struggling to hold your own attention. Interesting. Like writing it. Interesting. Did you do art like while you had originally wrote it, or did you pick art up to do the comic? Because that's always a fun thing.
You did a little experiment with drawing a few more panels. Oh, and you had more fun doing it. I'd say you found your medium.
That's the way to do it.
You gotta find something you'll enjoy. Otherwise, it's gonna be so much harder to work on it.
I would say animation is my favorite medium. Definitely. I can't do it myself for very long. I'm impressed at how
Definitely is time
long
consuming.
I managed to work on that I managed to bring the animation short I just did to completion at the level that I did. Because it was like I was dying at the end.
It looks so good.
I'm very happy with it.
You
But it
killed
is definitely like, damn, I was like, this needs to be finished today or it is not being finished.
But you finished.
That's a vibe, Kenzie. Why did I think I picked up art definitely in a similar vein of if someone won't do it, you gotta do it yourself sort of thing. That's
how I felt about writing.
I really got into art from Tumblr. And basically I was doing Tumblr stuff, and then I found Gravity Falls AUs, and I was like, ooh, look at all these brilliant ideas that Ori has. Let me draw them because no one else is doing it. Also, like, okay, guys, this is totally on brand for me, but the first like thing that held my attention for Gravity Falls shit was Deer Purr. If you know,
yes.
you know.
That if you know, that's just so on brand for Ori.
It is so on brand for Ori, man. We started real early, guys. Real early.
Oh, hell yeah. Ori knew what she liked. She wanted me to write a comic, and I was like, okay, what do you want to draw? What will you enjoy drawing? She gave me two things, pirates and animal-human hybrids. I was like, okay, I could make a story around that.
Yep.
Let's go. We ball.
We ball indeed. Basically my entire, like, if I'm gonna draw a comic about it, it can't be just humans. That's boring.
Yeah, no. Who wants to draw humans all the time?
That's why it's
Snooze.
That's why it's like I don't do as much like fan art as I would like, because it is just like I don't want to draw them as just them. I want to draw fun stuff.
I gotta be honest. If we watch Link Click together, I'm pretty sure you're gonna want to draw one of the boys. I think I know which one you're gonna get attached to.
Okay, we'll see. I think the next like fan art thing I really want to do is I really want to draw a character from Overly Sarcastic Productions Red's comic Aurora, because they have a race called Fenrin. I think that's what it's called. That oh look, Mofu Bun likes it, Mars.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I just watched season 1 this past weekend. It destroyed me. I immediately had to watch season 2, episode 1 because I needed answers. I at least got one of my pressing questions answered, but then I had a whole slew more. So
now she needs to wait because I'm holding a gun to her head, forcing her to read Dungeon Mesh.
Book 13 tomorrow, and then Link Click will probably be watched this weekend.
Once you read that book, I don't care what you fucking do. Oh, thank you for the follow, Kenzie.
Oh, thank you. Much appreciated. Hope you're having fun here. Sometimes on these comic corner nights, we have a specific topic that we talk about. Sometimes I'll talk about a writing related topic. Sometimes Ori will talk about an art related topic, or do a draw along with me segment.
Yep, sometimes.
What's that word? Draw with me?
Yeah, draw with me, yeah.
But there's like a specific word for it, and it's escaping me.
I don't know.
Tutorial! Drawing tutorial! That's the word!
I see.
Draw with me segment.
I mean, Draw with Me is like a
Goodbye,
brand
brain.
of YouTube, art content. So it's like I was pretty like, no, that's a normal thing to say, Mars. Like I don't know why you're being so weird.
But there was a word for it. Draw along. That works too.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Draw Along.
Kenzie. Yes. Oh, Mofu, I bet you know the exact question.
And if you
I need,
guys
I
have
need to
any
know. It was such a brutal ending to season 1.
If you guys have any specific art or writing, topic questions that you might like to see in the future, do let us know. You can also, of course, ask any
Absolutely.
questions now as we're chilling.
That's very true. In the next 10 minutes.
Yes. They won't go into depth or anything, but
Oh, we could give you
can
a
talk
brief
about stuff.
overview. We are definitely tangent people. We find a
yeah.
tangent and we just run with it.
That's how it goes. That is if you expect none of it's laid out, none of it's scripted, none of it's we go on tangents. It is what it is.
Absolutely.
But we love to talk.
Most of our comments just come from our brains and good old-fashioned experience.
But we love to talk and we love to answer your questions.
Absolutely. That's the whole reason we're here.
And hear about your adventures, like Kenzie's comic.
Absolutely.
And I think Maisie not here right now, but they do a comic as well.
Yes. They actually have the first chapter of their comic out.
Yes.
It's called Built This Way. It's on Webtoon if you want to check it out. Yeah, we have some story people and artists in our chat. It's a very fun time. Oh, thank you, Stream Elements. Good timing.
I did that.
Oh, well,
that was for
great
us.
timing, Ori.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's like I specifically was like, this is promo time.
I've done my 5 panels for the night. My hand. Ouch.
Do we have an OC that would fit the phrase, like,
trauma sponge? All of them?
Yeah.
All of the boys have some kind of baggage that they're going to have to work through.
But I wouldn't say anyone like collects it all, like I feel like Sponge is kind of like everything bad keeps happening to them. We don't have anybody like that.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, some have it worse than others, but
yeah. See,
I
think that all the bad stuff
we torture our
to
characters the exact same amount.
Yeah, I think all of our characters have specific trauma. That's all, kind of different, kind of the same in certain ways. But I don't think
it covers a wide range of scenarios.
We particularly beat down more than other ones. I feel like that might be your preference.
I will say this. There is one character that you will see us in the comics significantly beat down, mostly to teach him a lesson.
Yes. That was the only one I could think about, maybe.
Nothing learned.
But I wouldn't say that all the bad things happen to him. He just has
definitely not all the bad
very
things.
Specific.
He's just going to experience an arc.
Yeah.
He's gonna have himself an arc. But I wouldn't say we have a
sponge.
A
bad luck boy.
Yeah, no.
No. They all got trauma.
However, they're all equally traumatized.
No one's free of trauma. That's the difference, right?
And that's kind of the whole reason we wrote this comic. Ori and I very much enjoy stories where
about growth.
Ori's very much power, friendship, growth. I definitely like stories about our bonds make us stronger.
Yeah, friends. Friendship is
becoming better people because of your bonds. Can you tell I like Persona?
Found family.
Found family.
And we also have a little arc where, you don't have to forgive everybody. And not everybody has to forgive you for you to be a good person.
Yeah. I know. Sometimes the only thing you can do is wow, Mofu Buns, Persona 2? I gotta ask, which is your favorite Persona game?
Say it on 3.
1, 2, 3. My favorite Persona game is 4. Persona 4 is my favorite game I have never played. Basically, so TLDR, I got sick in middle school one time. I was out for about a week, and I had no idea what I was going to do with my life.
Oh, there you go.
So, oh, nice.
I secretly think this might be Mars in the trash.
It might be. I don't know.
I don't
Mofu
know. I've
Mars,
never
it's
seen
pretty
Mofu
close.
and Mars in the same room.
I know, right?
I
But
don't know.
TLDR, I watched a couple AMVs back then, and one of them had Overcoming Me by Cutlass put to Persona 4 the animation. So I was like, oh, this looks cool. Maybe I want to watch this anime. And then I discovered it was based off a game. So I was like, ooh, maybe I should check out the game first before watching the anime. So I found basically the movie of every single cutscene, and not just the cutscene, but also like the dialogue options as well. So it was like a 7-hour long video or something, or maybe even longer than that. I'm gonna have to double check because I was watching for a couple days. But
Mars.
yep, that's how I discovered Persona 4. Yes.
Have you seen any Sayu shorts recently of him playing what I think is a Persona game?
Persona 3. Yes,
Persona
he is
3,
currently working his way through Persona 3 because he voices Akihiko in the Reload version.
Yeah.
And I do want to play it so bad. I want to get the games for Switch, like literally all the games. One day. One day Mars will have money.
Yes, soon. Sooner rather than later, huh?
Yeah, definitely sooner. Yes, Sino.
I mean, he actually
We're
voices Sino.
huge moods.
I'm so glad, Kenzie.
Thank you. I'm happy to be a mood.
That is all we strive for, being mood.
That's the goal in life,
honestly,
right?
that's what all of our streams
Just
are.
to be a mood.
To be mood.
They're just moods. Besides this one, on Thursdays we have Drawing and Dragons, which is loosely based on Dungeons and Dragons. So we'll draw something either related to that or play a game related to that.
But it's still
and then Fridays are our Ace Attorney nights, which are super fun.
As long as I can understand it, it doesn't matter, Kenzie. I'm also bad at spelling.
No worries, Kenzie. Sometimes the keyboard just betrays you.
Yeah, so Thursdays is basically this, but with a tilt towards TTRPGs.
Yes.
A little tilt, and they sometimes have games.
And sometimes people share their stories in the comments. It's a fun time.
We play Ace Attorney.
Yes, and we have a third person join us to help us voice. It'll actually, I forget what we're doing this week. Is it investigations or top tier list?
Investigations. I want to get to the first case. Yes, we do also have a Discord. Thank you, Mob
We do. We are more than happy to have you if you would like to join. We vibe. We vibe a lot over there.
Mofu. Happy to have you. I mean, you seem like the vibe as well. So does Kenzie. So always happy to have more fun people join our little community, our little corner of the internet. Honestly, that's my favorite thing about being in the corner. Streamer, in a way, like a variety content creator, where it's like the people that we find are like the bomb, right? Because
it's allowed us to talk to so many people too.
Are in like
it's
all
great.
The cool shit, right? Like they're in all the cool stuff. You know what I'm saying? When you're just doing the one thing, you can have a bunch of people here just for that one thing. But we
also have trees because Ori is very into trees.
Yes. We got all the stuff.
We got everything.
There's no pockets, so we're good.
Nice.
I don't draw Hotsun having pockets.
Little sleepy Hotsun.
Is he sleepy or is he concerned and about to have a nightmare? I think
I'm thinking probably the latter. That's just how I usually write him, so.
Has Hotsun gotten a night's sleep without a nightmare?
Absolutely not. How can he? He's on an island with a whole bunch of callers.
One. He did have one. His first night when he was awoken to Milano yelling intruder.
Ah, yes. That was
he was also probably fucking
deadbeat
tired as well.
Well, he spent the whole day trying to get food, set up a
That's what I'm
lean-to. It was
saying.
a big job.
He was probably just knocking out at that point.
Being shipwrecked leaves you tired.
Oh yeah.
What can
Well,
you
not
do?
wrecked, stranded. An important distinction, as it has
That
been
is
asked
true.
before. Don't
That
don't
it
confuse
has.
the people, Mars. Enthuse,
I'm
the one
not
who asked the
trying
question, is
to.
here.
It was
Using
a pre-midnight
um.
brain slip of the tongue.
So I use a bunch of different colors, Kenzie. There's a lot of things that happen in it. So yeah, a lot of it is because colors have innate sort of contrast, right, by being different colors. So it does make it easier to differentiate where I don't have I don't have to keep
Oh,
like
that's that
lowering
pre-midnight
the
brain.
opacity and using another layer. It helps. However, I do also each of the characters has like a color that I associate with them because they that is their color. So it's like Aster's yellow, Sinet's orange, Ferrix is green, Milano's red, and Hotson's purple. And so that allows us, especially when like they're interacting with each other, to easily differentiate whose
To tell
parts are
whose
who.
lines are whose.
Yeah.
It's super helpful.
And it just adds, like, when you do thumbnails, you can kind of see the sketches in the background here are also in the colors. So, you know, these are really, really, really rough sketches, just trying to get, you know, thumbnails trying to get out what, like, the idea is. So it allows it to easily represent, like, who I'm thinking it is without having to have many defining features. I can literally just color and then but all of my sketches are very very colorful because it does make it easier to visualize the pieces on top. So yeah.
And then I can actually show off for Mofu and Kenzie real quick. If you look at the bottom left corner, I'll
That's
show you what our
Mars's
boys
screen.
look like colored in. Let me see if I can find a folder. There we go. Now everything's nice and bright. So we got Ferrix here. Hotson on this side. So this is where our boys look like colored in. So Ori does the sketching, the lines. I color in the flats. And we tag team it till the end. There's our boy Sinet. Or as chat loves to refer to him, Sushi Boy.
Yeah. I
'cause
think
he's
he
a
has
shark.
the only nickname.
Yeah, so far he's the only one with a nickname.
Yeah.
I do see it though, because the other day I made a post doing a time lapse of coloring Sinet. And I put the sushi emoji next to him because in the caption I called him Sushi Boy. And I was like, oh, the sushi emoji has white,
Yeah.
orange.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You didn't realize that.
even the black of the pants with the seaweed. Yeah, I see the
Yeah. Oh
resemblance.
no, he's very sushi colored. That was on accident. That was just
Oh,
so
I still got color in these guys.
all of the animal characters we have are based off real life animals, and so he is based off the bamboo shark or epaulet shark. I didn't pick a specific one because a lot of them are very similar to each other. You know, certain animals you get to a point where they are different species, but visually they're not particularly different. And so when you're doing a character like this, I'm not trying to differentiate that hard.
The main process for Sinet, we knew we wanted a shark, and then it was just a matter of finding a shark where it's like, okay, we need one that's a little small, but also that has some nice colors, I think was our criteria.
I also required that he was the good shark shape and not the bad shark shape.
Yes, that's right.
That's very important. I love sharks, but only good shark shaped sharks and not bad shark shaped sharks. And the difference is good shark shaped sharks are long boys.
Try saying that 10 times fast.
I have been. I was doing okay, and then I fell off.
I wouldn't call that 10 times.
The bad shark-shaped shark is like the great white. You know? But like tiger sharks are good shark shapes, and lemon sharks, and of course the walking shark, the bamboo shark, the epaulet shark, all names for Sinet's shark. All the good sharks.
All very fun sharks.
Very important to me. It's very important to have a good shark-shaped shark.
Absolutely. I mean, you're going to be drawing him a lot, so you probably should like that good shark-shaped shark.
Yep. That shark-shaped shark.
That sharp-shaped shark.
Oh, you failed.
Ah, fuck. I'll get him next time.
We gotta. Oh, goodness. The time. I have forgotten this. Dylan has not barged in here because he's playing video games. But that is all we have for today, as it is 11:30, after 11:30
Yes,
on our end.
and it is a weekday, so Ori and I both have work tomorrow.
Yes, unfortunately,
Such
I
is
have
life.
work. How dare me have work. But we're so happy to have, met all you new people in here, Kenzie.
Yes.
and
Oh my
Wofu,
gosh,
and,
thank you for
safe
choosing
gaming
to
and
spend your evening with us.
Wait, what?
That
does
really
say
means a
slut?
lot.
What? No. It doesn't. It says shut.
It does.
It says shut. And I knew that a long time ago. But it says shut. I know it doesn't say shut, but it says shut, okay? But yes, thank you all for joining us, and we hope to see you on Thursday when I get to work on a commission that is of King from the Owl House, but as a dragon. And very, very
Yes.
cool.
It's coming out really good, you guys.
Or if we can't see you then, we'll hope to see you on Friday for Ace Attorney Investigations, episode 2 of the Dylan Show, which is
I
grand.
just realized I'm drawing on the wrong layer.
It's okay.
Shit.
Ah, I'm so glad, Kenzie. Can't wait to see you there, and we hope you enjoyed the comic.
Yes,
the new one
please
just came in the other
enjoy.
day. Yes, it is Nicole and all of our other lovely channel members on YouTube. Thank you all for watching and
thank
supporting.
you so much. It means the absolute world to us.
Ooh, me too, Mofu. We'll be looking out for you.
Hope to see you on Thursday.
And yeah, we'll see you guys then. VOD washers, if you exist, thank you as well. And we'll see you next time on Thursday. Good night.
Take care, all. Thanks for joining us.